Tonight on Boston Pizza, WHL Hockey on Shaw. How do you stop the Medicine Hat Tigers? Find a way not to be stopped by Matt Keeley. The reigning CHL Goalie of the Week continues to be the Tigers' backbone between the pipes. This evening, Keeley and his mates take their 5-game winning streak into Saskatoon to face a struggling Blaze team that has managed just 5 wins in their last 16 games. Get your game face on. It's the Tigers and Blades next.
Good evening and welcome to Boston Pizza, WHL Hockey on Shaw. I'm your host, Dan Elliott. To say 2006-07 has been a transition year for the Saskatoon Blades would be a major understatement. Gone are their top 6 scorers from last season: Setaguchi, Clausen, Bader, Rabbit, Bahensky, and Barnes, as well as their goaltending tandem of Anton Khudobin and Jim Watt. As a result, Lauren Mulliken's team has struggled out of the gate, managing 7 wins in their first 19 games. And it doesn't get any easier tonight as they welcome the Eastern Conference leading Medicine Hat Tigers to town, a team which has won a league-best 12 games on the road so far this season. With more on tonight's matchup, let's go to the Credit Union Center in Saskatoon to the 2 men that will be calling tonight's action, Ray Morrison and Shannon Bresky.
Dan, the Blades are trying to bounce back after a 3-0 loss to Swift Current a couple of nights ago, and as far as the Medicine Hat Tigers are concerned, well, they've had their way with the East Division pretty much. They're on a 5-game winning streak coming into tonight's game, but the veteran Matt Keeley, the goaltender for the Medicine Hat Tigers, is going to get some rest from Willie Desjardins tonight.
Yeah, and I think that's only positive for the Saskatoon Blades, who have had a hard time putting the puck in the net. Ryan Holfeld, no slouch himself, but again, back up to Matt Keeley, that obviously is kind of the presence out there that if you're a Saskatoon hockey team that's having a hard time scoring goals, that's kind of a big thing. So I think that might be maybe a little bit of a mental edge that can only be positive for the Saskatoon Blades tonight.
Players to watch tonight, a household name for the Medicine Hat Tigers is a guy you really like.
Yeah, a kid named Chris Russell from Carolina, Alberta. Everyone probably saw him play with the World Juniors, and just a fantastic all-around hockey player. Not very big, but so skilled and so able to read the play and move the transition. He's so quick to get into the play, and it's just, he sort of creates everything from the back end for the Medicine Hat Tigers, and he's one guy you're going to want to look at.
As far as the Saskatoon Blades are concerned, one of the young guys that has really impressed Coach Lauren Mulliken has been this guy. Yeah,
Tegan's on, 16 years old, and, these guys are so excited about this young kid. He moves the puck well. He does everything, as Dave Strush, the assistant coach of the Blades, said he shouldn't really be doing at 16, but he's getting a chance to play 20, 25 minutes in every situation, penalty kill, power play, and he's just done a fantastic job, and these guys are very excited about the future with Tegan's on.
Now, depending on who you talk to, this could be considered a battle of David and Goliath proportions. Saskatoon Blades coach Lauren Mulliken talked about facing one of the elite teams in the Western Hockey League.
That was given to the players is that we want to be the aggressor. I think that we've played some teams that are real good hockey clubs, and when we've come out and been the aggressor in all situations, I think that we've played some of our best games, and it's a real tribute to our players because of their approach and their attitude and what they want to accomplish against a good team like Medicine Hat.
Shannon, it's a simple game, really. Lauren Mulliken wants his guys to put the puck on the net.
Yeah, and another thing is, in talking with Dave Strush and Lauren this morning, was the fact that you got to be very careful when you're dumping in the puck, because Chris Russell and these D-men seem to be everywhere. And, puck possession is a big part of the game. You give it to these guys with a quick transition, it's going to be tough. But again, the new goalie, Holfeld, in tonight. We got to get the puck to the net and try and bang a couple in.
So, Dan, the fans here are hoping for big things for their team as the Blades go against the Tigers here in Saskatoon.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. The Blades, of course, currently sitting in 4th in the East Division with 15 points, 5 points behind 3rd place Regina, while Medicine Hat is 1st in the Central Division, 7 points up on Kootenay. Now, one other player to keep an eye on is Blades forward Scott Skurdlin. Does the name sound familiar? Well, it might. He is the nephew of 2-time Stanley Cup champion and former Blade Brian Skurdlin, who just happens to have his number retired by his old junior club. Don't go anywhere. The drop of the puck is coming up next, right here on Boston Pizza, WHL Hockey on Shaw.
Back at Credit Union Center, Ray Morrison with Shannon Brisky as the Blades and the Medicine Hat Tigers are set to give it a go for the second time this season. Medicine Hat won, and they won October 3rd, and they won in this building, and that's something that if you're any hockey team, Shannon, you don't want to have that happen too often. Even though the Tigers are one of the elite, you do want to kind of stake your territory at home, and the Blades hope to do that here.
Absolutely, and I think it's part of maybe giving some of these teams a little bit too much respect. Like Warren said, obviously you want to respect that they're big gunners and they're really quality players. At the same time, you got to challenge those guys, and this is going to be a fantastic game for these young Blades to see how they compete with the elite in the league.
The Saskatoon Blades are an interesting team in that they are going to be a team of the future. You can tell that when Lorne Mulligan talks about people such as Colton Gillies, such as Justin McRae, the player you touched on at the top, Tegan's on. These are all guys that down the road, year and a half, are going to have to be big-time players for this Blades team to succeed.
Well, it's almost like you're looking at two different teams in different stages of their sort of growth. You look at the Medicine Hat Tigers as sort of a mature team that's got some, some drafted players, some guys who played at World Junior, guys like Chris Russell. Then you look at the Saskatoon Blades, their future looks very bright with guys like Tegan Zahn and Justin McRae and Colton Gillies, and they've got some great leadership in some of their older guys like Brad Cole. So I think this is going to be, a real interesting contest tonight.
What do you say about the Medicine Hat Tigers, who are 18-5-1 on the season? I mean, these are guys who are just rock solid. Even without Cam Russell, it's like these guys haven't missed a step.
Well, they have such a balanced attack, and when I was talking to Dave Struce this morning, when the assistant coach for the Blades, he said that at home, Willie Desjardins does not match lines. He's got 3 lines. He just rolls. He just rolls them over, and he's like, "Hey, which one of my lines do you want to try and compete against?" So it's just a fantastic, well-balanced team, and but again, they're not going to beat you one-on-one with anybody really, with real over huge skill, but just a huge balanced attack, and they keep coming, and they work really, really hard.
Well, fans in BC are very happy about their Lions, who beat the Saskatchewan Roughriders in the Western Final. The Lions on their way to the Grey Cup as they get set to go against Montreal. But here in Saskatchewan, listen to this. Football's big, and there is number 34. Making his way to center ice for the ceremonial puck drop tonight. That is George Reed, of course. You talk about underdogs. George Reed played in the 66 Grey Cup game. He talks about how against the Ottawa Roughriders, all the champagne and the beer was on the Ottawa side because they didn't think Saskatchewan was going to win that football game, and sure enough, George Reed and the Riders got it done. So George Reed is here to speak at a breakfast tomorrow morning. Some of the proceeds going to the Saskatoon Blades Education Fund. I think some of the other proceeds are going to the Special Olympics. So it's great to have George Reed in the building, and kind of nice after the beating that the Riders took to the BC Lions here that he's been able to come out and kind of restore the faith of the Rider Nation and be here tonight. So nice face-off with Justin McRae here for the Saskatoon Blades tonight as they get set to go against the Medicine Hat Tigers. Brody Cuff is about to step forward and sing our national anthem here as the Saskatoon Blades are in a situation where they have 4 of their next 5 at home, so they really have to rally here and get something done. Good time to start would be against the Tigers tonight. Good job by Brody Cuff. Fans set to take to their seats. They'll roll up the red carpet here, which was not rolled out for you, Shannon Brisky. Let's take a look at the goaltenders tonight, starting with Ryan Holfeld in net. Played 5 games ago, this is where the win streak started for the Medicine Hat Tigers, and he has done a pretty good job. He won the game against Moose Jaw, and that's where it all started. Had to step in when Matt Keeley missed 5 games with a knee injury, and in some respects, Billy Desjardins said he really responded in games against Calgary and Vancouver when, quote, thrown to the wolves. Braden Holtby has been sensational. Yes, he was in net for the 3-0 loss to Swift Current, but has faced a ton of shots, made 24 stops 2 nights ago, and he is going to be in net for the Blades. Referees for tonight's game, Trevor Ritchik and Graham Skeletor. The linesman, Chris Critch and Paul Brunin, as we are about to get this one underway. The Saskatoon Blades at home, and as we mentioned, for the next 5 here at Credit Union Center. They'd really like to get something going, and what better way to do that against a Tiger team that is 12-3 away from their building. An absolutely amazing road record, and when you're playing these East Division teams, you can really build up momentum, and the Tigers have found that out, as we mentioned, by getting 5 in a row. But we're going to start this one with a scrap. The 2 14s, Darren Helm and Justin McRae. Hardly planned at all. McRae coming across with a couple of rights. Down goes Helm.
Oh, big.
And the linesman can step in any time because Helm is down and out.
Well, that's a good start by the Blades. They won the first fight before anything got going here. Justin McRae's looking to spark his team and get him going here. They mean business tonight.
Yes, a very pre-planned play here.
Right off the draw, and you can see just before we got that clip that McRae caught him right on the chin and took him down. So looks like they're both okay, and they'll be back to fight another day.
So that's how this one starts. A grand total of 4 seconds and ticked off the clock, but we already have a scrap on the go here. And you know, you talk about players who can really score in balance. Darren Helm leads the Tigers in scoring, 8, 18, and 26. But you know what? He leads the team. He's 12th in the league, and that tells you how balanced the scoring is for this Medicine Hat team. So they start out with a scrap to get it going. Now the Tigers trying to put on the pressure, but the Blades will bring it out. The Blades leading scorer, Ryan Manet with the puck, who will send it around the boards and try to get it something going here. Turning with it now, it's Tyler Swiston, who trips over the blue line. Dumped in by the Tigers. Brad Cole back for it, the captain. Lorne Mulligan referred to Cole as his unsung hero prior to the Swift Current game, as I spent some time with Lorne about that. Puck goes over the glass and out of play.
Boston Pizza WHL Hockey on Shaw is brought to you by Boston Pizza.
You're among friends at Boston Pizza.
Well, an early scrap has brought the energy of the building up, and we'll see how these Saskatoon Blades respond here now.
Absolutely, that's another part of the leadership of Justin McRae, and Lorne was talking about how he does it by example. Not a big talker, but that's a good leading by example and get the team going right up the bat.
Mark Isherwood dumped it in. That's Isherwood with the puck there. Dumped it in earlier. It took a funny bounce, just about costly for the Blades, but the Saskatoon team managed to get it out. Now this is Stevens with a shot from the line. Holtby smothers that. Didn't exactly know where it was, but stops the Chris Stevens shot.
Just, you can see here, just Dorsett's going to bring it across the line, and he's going to get it to the wing, and you know, they're just putting the puck on young Holtby. Here it is coming up. Shot, and it gets just enough pads. Those big pads these days. In the old days, right, I would have snuck right through, eh?
Funny, if you talk about that. Patrick Waugh just inducted into the Hall of Fame, and they talk about the big pads that he wore in his later stages of career versus early.
Got enough of it.
You bet. Chris Cloud, a guy who can provide energy for the Blades at times as well, gets the puck up. Blades trying to hold off the Tigers from getting in. Jacob Rumpel put one over the glass and out of play. Look at one of the Blades, Ryan Funk, in the lineup tonight. Face-off just outside the line, and that's Funk with the puck now as Wintoniak got it back to him. Pass on the far side now. Chris Cloud taking a bump back there by Rumpel. This is Brett Ward going back for it. He'll turn, see what he can set up for Saskatoon. That's off a stick and down into the Medicine Hat zone. Going back for the puck there, Trevor Glass.
One of their,
Cochrane, Alberta, you bet.
One of their very offensively talented defensive glasses as well as Russell.
This never seems to end when you talk about the talent of this team. This is Bohdan Vishnak behind his own net for the Blades. Pass up the ice. Saskatoon will see what they can get set up here. Joe Logan try to pass across, but they get stopped at the line, and Vishnak has it one more time. Logan has a look, tries to go right up the far boards with it, but that goes over the glass and out of play. We're talking about that loss that the Blades suffered to Swift Current a couple of nights ago, and this is one of the things that they're trying to bounce back from after a 3-0 defeat here.
And you can see last game, Swift Current had a lot of opportunities of putting the puck to the net. And you can see here, 25, I believe, comes in, smacks the top shelf. And that's where Ryan Funk's got to do a better job of taking that man out of the play. And here's just, I know Holtby would like to have that one back, an outside shot. At the same time, the guys didn't give up, and they played a scrappy, to the end. And that's part of this team, their mentality of the team. There's a young guy, Tegan Zahn, we were talking about, first scrap in the league, and the guys were excited to see that, and he was pretty excited too, because I think he got the decision right.
Well, and McRae did okay against Helm in the first fight of the night here, seconds in as well. So we'll see if the Blades can turn some of this energy into offense here. Going back for the puck now, that's Mark Isherwood, number 24, gets it up to center. Michael McCangus back for Saskatoon. Tries to move it up, McCauley out there as well. McCauley tries to get by his man, Gillies bumps Isherwood. Isherwood kicks it, literally kicks it, out of the zone and out to center as the Blades have to come out. Gillies tried to get a stick on it, but this is Derek Dorsett with it, who simply plays it back to Russell. Russell, pass ahead, and tip down into the Saskatoon zone. Brad Cole, Captain Cole back there for the Blades.
You notice this trap medicine hat, they're so sound defensively, and we've noticed already early in this game the tough time Saskatoon's having to get the puck out.
And it goes the length of the ice, and now the Blades will see if they can chase it down, but very quickly Holfeld is out. Funny bounce off the glass, but there's glass there for the Tigers.
Off the glass.
Here's a chance for Monet. He's in. Ryan Monet shoots. There's the stop by Holfeld as he gets the left pad down.
That's the guy you want to have at the leading scorer for the Blades. Just couldn't quite. Great save.
Undershoot tries to move it ahead. Now this is Swiston who tries to feather one through. Undershoot breaking to the net. Kevin Undershoot tries to do some work down low. Now Rumpel turns. Undershoot goes to the doorstep to see if he can pounce on a rebound, but the puck is smothered by Holtby.
Yeah. Let's have a look at this last chance by Ryan Monet. Just kind of an opportunistic play, and bounces right onto his tape, and he goes in all alone, makes a good move, and Holfeld makes an even better one with the left pad there. Good stop, and he's ready to play tonight as well.
Yeah, Willie Desjardins said some real nice things about Holfeld prior to the game, saying, we've had to play against Calgary. Normally you'd give a kid of that experience some rest. A rebound, they score! The Tigers put it into the net. Jacob Rumpel was on the doorstep, and I believe he knocks it in, and it's 1-0 for Medicine Hat.
And again, Holtby makes the first save, and they just came right, they're coming hard. And we'll have a look at it here right away, I'm sure. And that's the D-man has to get that. And here's Baldwin with a big, heavy shot, and all of a sudden there's one guy, two guys, and he just bangs it home. Kind of looks like the defense got a little bit miscommunication. You taking him, I taking him, and all of a sudden the puck's in the back of the net before you know it. So the shot there.
Yeah, nice shot and a rebound that was in front laying there, and the Tigers get it done to take a 1-0 lead. Less than 5 minutes into the game. Now Wintoniak will be into the Medicine Hat zone to see if he can make something happen, but David Schlemko clears it around the near side. Ennis tries to move it out, but Galen Patterson keeps it in, tries to drop pass. Chris Cloud with a shot. That one doesn't make it through, but comes right back to his tape. Eventually Ennis moves the puck up ahead and out. Tyler Ennis, good shift for the Tigers. Chris Cloud, top of the circle with a shot. That one is stopped by Holfeld, and picking it up there is Mark Isherwood. He lifts it down into the Saskatoon zone. Brad Cole for the Blades. Don't really know what to do. They got the 1-4 checker in, and it's very tough now to play this type of game when this kind of lead on the road. Now with all the penalties that get called in this game, but Medicine Hat still manages to get it done. Speaking of which, the referee, Graham Skilleter, has his hand up, and there's going to be a penalty, and it's going to go to Troy Crowley.
And that's the thing. Look, the Medicine Hat Tigers are so well coached by Willie Desjardins in their system. It's almost like, and last year we noticed it too, Ray, in their games. It doesn't matter which line they put out there. They're just so well coached and well disciplined, and they stay within their systems, and it's really tough to play against. And you can see the Saskatoon Blades are having a tough time getting out of their own zone.
Schlemko dumps it in around the boards. funny bounce out front, but the Blades managed to clear it as Cole whistles it off the glass and down into the Medicine Hat zone. So Schlemko will go back for it.
And you got to watch these two guys, both 20 points. Schlemko and Russell both with 20 points each on the back end for Medicine Hat.
This is Dorsett in over the line. Tries to play it back to Schlemko, but it gets tipped up high. Tigers do manage to keep it in as Russell is keeping an eye on a bouncing puck. And now Cole is over there watching his man. Tigers trying to get it back to the point, but the Blades managed to get control and steer it the length of the ice. $1:20 to go in the man advantage now. Tigers turning with it. This is Schlemko. Pass ahead. This is Lowry on the far side. Matt Lowry. Manet turns with it and dumps it the length of the ice again. Tigers have a very good power play when they get it rolling.
Absolutely, doesn't seem to matter which pairing you put out there on the back end. They got about 3 or 4 defensemen with double-digit points and can really move the puck and transition very, very well.
But to the perfectionist Willie Desjardins, he'd like to see more.
Yeah,
we were talking to him earlier. So I'd like to see more of my power play, and we looked at him like he was crazy.
Fourth, I guess there's still 3 spots to go to get to first.
Baldwin, we thought he was going to take a shot, but played it along the near boards as the Tigers cycle it. Now Baldwin moves it to the other side. This is Glass with a pass down low. Ennis. Lowry pinching in. Lowry with control of the puck. He'll move it all the way back to Baldwin. Pass across. This is Trevor Glass with it. Pass on the far side, down low. See if they can get it out to Lowry. No, Ennis couldn't move it out to him, and the Blades clear it the length of the ice.
Lowry, one of those kids that Willie was talking about, didn't play too much at the start of the year, and getting a chance here in the power play because of he's earned it due to injuries and playing quite well.
Lowry from Neepawa, Manitoba. Rumpel dumps the puck down in. Bosch clears it around the board. Scott Wadston tried to track it down before it got out, but the Blades managed to move the puck to center and now down into the Medicine Hat zone. The late offside call was there, so the Blades had to retreat. Tigers take control. Try that stretch pass, but that is broken up. And now hustling in, trying to make it happen is Dustin Cameron. Didn't have anyone to pass to, so kind of put a bad angle shot on the net. Isherwood plays it around to the far side. Blades do manage to keep it in. Dustin Cameron back there with Chris Cloud. McCauley's out front as well. Good job there. The glove it, keep it in. Cameron on the doorstep, but the puck doesn't get to him, and McCauley's going to see if he can get control of it. Blades tried to get it through to Chris Cloud, but the Tigers break that out, and they do manage to get it down to center. Eventually it's dumped in by Brennan Bosch, and the Tigers will go to a change. This is McCauley. Stops at the line, just dumps it in. Ryan Holfeld just leaves it there. This is Stevens with it. Dumps it back, Baldwin up ahead. Derek Dorsett tried to feather a pass through, but that's broken up. Michael McCangus for the Blades gets it to center and back down into the Medicine Hat zone where David Schlemko turns with it. Just about lost it on a bad pass. Manet hustles over there. Colton Gillies takes control of the puck, tries to get a pass through. There's a shot from the point from Tegan Zahn. That one's wide, kind of a floater. I'm not sure if that was a pass or a shot. Blades working hard. Gillies will play it back for Logan. Back for Colton Gillies with a shot through traffic. That one just wide. Klotz was on the doorstep. Ryan Manet now trying to take control. He and Klotz down there below the goal line working hard, but Schlemko gets it out. Now Derek Dorsett tries to move it ahead, and the Tigers will go for a change. We played 9 minutes in the first period, 1-0 Tigers.
Great forecheck, great shift. Now the guys can match it with, Blades come out with and follow up on that shift with a couple lines. The next 2 lines would be great.
Bodan Vishnak. Long pass for Cameron ahead. That is broken up, and here's Chris Russell with it. Pass for the near side. Colton Grant couldn't track down the puck. Blades take control in their own zone. Here's Walker Wintoniak in with Skrudland. A shot gloved by Holfeld, and he hangs on. Here's Willie Desjardins talking about the balanced scoring that his team's going to need.
I don't know if I do anything. I think we just have some good personnel. We have lots of guys that can play. I am impressed by the group. It's hard some nights. Some of the young guys don't have, they don't get a chance to play as much as they'd like, and especially early in the year, like 2 guys like Wasden and Lowry, they weren't getting any ice time, and then through injuries, all of a sudden they got some ice time. And we've always said, your job is to be ready, and when you get a chance, you got to step in, and they've stepped in and played real well, especially on this trip. So we're fortunate to have character players and that want to play and are willing to stick with it when times get a little bit tough. And you know, we're lucky we do have a lot of guys that can contribute.
My question would be, have the Tigers, who are 18-5-1 on the year, really had any tough times this year? Real solid, but Darren Helm tries to move it out front. Undershoot. Back behind. Tries to turn away from his man, but McRae gets it out to center.
And then Willie, he's a tough man to please. Obviously, expects a lot out of his team, and they give him a lot, you know. So that's maybe that's a good way to have it.
Matt Lowry with a shot that's kicked wide. Now on the far side, it's Chris Cloud, who's being watched very closely there by Brendan Bosch, but the Blades do manage to come away with it. Dustin McRae tries to get across to Ryan Monet. Glasses over there, but Cloud picks it up. Here's Cloud. Dangles, shoots, rebound. What a stop by Hofeld, and no rebound to be had there for the Blades as one of the Saskatoon players overskated it, and the puck goes back down into the Saskatoon zone. Great chance. Great chance, and you know, Hofeld, he looks pretty good tonight. And he's from Leroy, Saskatchewan, very close to my hometown, so he's probably got mom and dad and a bunch of family in the stands, and he wants to play well for them too. Oh yeah, that Leroy Jensen Saskatchewan rivalry must have been something, big guy. Chris Russell with it to the line, and he dumps it down, and it's played behind the net by Holtby. Bodan Vishnek up ahead. This is McCauley with it, being watched by Russell. Stevens over there working hard as well for the Tigers. Colton Gillies takes his man out. Trying to throw the body out there, which is what he's one of his very strong points, and leading by example again, trying to put a big hit on one of the Medicine Hat players. Chris Russell tries to move a pass up for Dorsett, but that's broken up. Tegan Zahn lifts it high into the Medicine Hat zone. McCauley, tried to feed one through for Zahn. Cole on the point, plays it around the boards for McCangus. McCauley with it on the far side. Dorsett's going to hustle over and see if he can keep an eye on this. Russell over there as well, trying to get it out, but the Tigers were on their heels a little bit in their own zone for a second or two, but now managed to move it down into the Saskatoon end. Yeah, you know, Stevens going to get stuck with a high stick here in the corner. Let's take a break. We'll return to Credit Union Center. Tigers leading the Blades 1-0. You know, Ray, when we talk about the Blades' young team and their young up-and-coming guys, Colton Gillies, you know, just freshly named to that Team Canada, and again rated in the top 30 skaters in the entry draft, and he's going to be a fantastic player for years to come. Big size, good speed, and plays with a ton of heart. And one of those guys that Lauren mentioned has become very vocal in the dressing room, leading a young team. He's only 17 years old. Yeah, was named to Team WHL. That ADT Canada Russia Challenge is coming up November the 29th in Chilliwack, and he'll be a part of that Western Hockey League team. So here are the Tigers working the man advantage here now. Schlemko puts it through traffic, bouncing puck, stays out, they bang away the rebound and score! Just a little bit of confusion, looked like Ray off the post. I think Holtby maybe had it lurking around his skates, and it just went, the white guys found it before the blue guys. Lots of white bodies in front of the net. You pointed that out exactly. Let's take a look at this play as the Tigers storm the Blades net. And it looks like Schlemko just putting the puck on net. The puck goes off a skate or something, and it's laying around there. And you know, looks like number 25, Rumpel, comes in and just untouched. The Blades are a little bit guilty of staring at the puck versus taking the man and protecting their goaltender. So again, that seems to be the case there. But you know what looks like Medicine Hat, part of their game plan tonight is simply throw the puck to the net and let's get in on these inexperienced defensemen by the Blades and then see what we can do. That's Rumpel's 7th of the year. He scored a goal against the Blades back on October the 3rd as well, and gets one here tonight. He loves coming to Credit Union Center. 2 goals in 2 games in this building. For the Blades, we'll see if they can rally now, down by 2. McCangus tries to get around his man. He showed some good first speed here tonight for Saskatoon. Colton Gillies tries to get his stick on it, but the Tigers start away. This is Helm with undershoot. Helm shoots. That one goes up off the glass and out of play. You know, Ray, one of the things that Dave Strush mentioned to me today, how good the Medicine Hat Tigers are about getting in front in lanes and taking away the shot, taking away space from shots from the point and the outside. You can see here the clear example, Baldwin and then Schlemko getting the puck on net, having time to maneuver on the blue line, and simply getting that puck to the net, and obviously rebounds and opportunity, and we're not doing a good job of cleaning up the front of the net, ended up with 2 goals. Well, the Tigers' formidable opponents after that 6-2 win over Moose Jaw Sunday night. Troy Crowley for the Blades now trying to make something happen and get it out of his own zone here, but the Tigers holding it in. Russell with a low, weak shot that goes wide of the net. Scott Scrudlin, another player getting some praise from Lauren Mulliken the way he has played, number 16, out on the ice now. Butts trying to get it out. And it's back behind the net. This is behind his own net, Brett Ward. To Scrudlin. Scrudlin dumps it ahead. That one stopped at the line and sent right back into the Saskatoon zone as Jordan Benfeld dumps it in. Ward.
Again, we're seeing Ray, again, we're seeing that sort of stifling trap that the Medicine Hat Tigers are playing to a T here.
Well, if you saw it at 1-0, you're going to see it at 2-0, right?
This play, and Willie, just plays a fantastic, perfect road game. It seems like every time we see him, and again, that's a credit to their 12-3.
Let's join Heath Mulligan, who is downstairs between the Tigers and the Blades benches. Heath.
Saskatoon Blades coach Lauren Mulliken has probably seen this story before. He's working with a very young hockey club, and he talked before the game about 20 years of coaching professionally in the NHL, in minor hockey, and Canadian Hockey League hockey, about having seen it all. But you can see that twinkle in his eye when he talks about bringing a young team up from scratch. This is his team. When he came a couple of years ago, and well, 2.5 in fact, he inherited someone else's team. It's all his now, and he gets that little smile in the corner of his mouth when he talks about taking this group on through the growing pains. Bizarre, but he's enjoying it. Ray?
Well, he's made his life at this hockey thing and has done pretty well. Been involved in 3 NHL teams, San Jose, Pittsburgh, and Chicago, and is kind of back where it started in the Western Hockey League here with his second tour of duty with the Blades now.
He's even got a couple of rookie assistant coaches on.
Here's a chance now for Ennis. Dancing scores! Tyler Ennis makes it 3-0. Nice play by Ennis as he hustled in, did a little dance and made the shot and beat Holtby with it, and now the Blades are down by a field goal.
And so he comes in here, hustles onto the puck, and just uses big, you see he's coming in, hustle on the puck, uses Brad Cole, little stop and start. The big rangy defenseman just gets beat a little bit, caught with his, on his heels, and it goes in the back of the net here.
One more
look at it one more time.
Yeah, nice move.
And just caught maybe Holtby going the wrong way a little bit, and great shot, nice play.
So 3-0 for the Tigers. Still 4:55 to go in period 1. This is Ennis, who scored the goal. Oh, tries another feed in front of the net. Doesn't work out. This is McRae for Saskatoon. Ryan Monet tries a pass across, trying to knock that one out of the air was Cameron, but couldn't get a stick on it, and it is sent the length of the ice. The 9th goal of the year for Tyler Ennis makes it 3-0 here for the Tigers. As there's a look at Holfeld from Leroy. Face off to the right of the Tigers netminder now, and it's always good if you're a goaltender if you can work with the lead, and that's what Holfeld is going now. Chris Russell dances away from his man. Pass up to Ennis one more time. Ennis kicks it to his stick, but is knocked off the puck by Funk, and the Blades' Brett Ward has it. Ward at center. This is McCauley now with it. McCauley and Gillies. Gillies with the backhand. Scores! Colton Gillies has put the home team on the board.
The Blades definitely needed that, that's for sure. And they just got one of the Medicine Hat Tigers defensemen got caught pinching up a little bit on the blue line, trying to stand up, and ended up with a 2-on-1.
And that's exactly what it was, is McCauley.
Great pass over to Gillies. He stays with it, even a hook, and it just falls it through to the net and just gets by Holfeld at the last second there. One more look at it. Nice pass. Great job by Gillies to stay on it. Just sort of flutters and back in the net.
Holfeld, I think, got most of it, but not all of it. And now it is 3-1 with 4 minutes to go. So that could be a boost that the Blades need after allowing 3 in this first period. Tigers right back on the offensive, though, seeing what they can happen. Schlemko steps in, lets a shot go. Holtby sees it, stops it, and hangs on to it.
And that's one thing that Lauren mentioned. He's gonna, if he can see it, the first shot, which he has done, he's gonna stop it. You can see the puck. Right here, we're gonna have another look at that puck. Big shot, heavy shot. Holtby sees it, he's going to stop it. And again, no rebounds. You know, the first two goals that Medicine Hat got were a result of a rebound and the defenseman not taking care of their man and the puck ended up in the back of the net. So good job there by Holtby to handle that rebound and not let him have another opportunity.
Lauren Mulliken very impressed with Braden Holtby. You got to remember that he played AAA hockey last year.
Here we go again, Ray.
There's another scrap here. So who have we got going? That
Troy Crowley and Cameron.
Breton Cameron. Troy Crowley, a couple of young guys. Troy Crowley is one of the energy makers here for the Blades.
Good.
And this is the player, Breton Cameron, who was AP'd, literally written onto the program tonight.
Yeah, called up, I believe, from Crowley. He's excited. Little spark plug.
Well, yeah, you want to get your team going, and you know this is the kind of hockey that Lauren Mulliken does like to see. He wants to see some energy from his team continually. And,
absolutely. Here we go. And they're throwing him hard. These little guys are taking him and giving him and giving him. And it looks like, oh yeah, there you got a couple right in the chin, and a great job by Crowley. But you got to give the kid Cameron, coming up out of AAA midget, probably his first fight ever, you know, hanging in there, taking a couple on the chin. Good fight. We're going to see it right here. Wow. Boom, boom. Good job. Credit to both those guys for standing in there. And great job by Crowley trying to get his team fired up here, down 3-1. And let's see what happens in the last 3:37. Right. Hopefully that gives the Blades a little bit of a spark and continue with maybe getting a little bit of momentum after that last goal.
Now you talk about how young those guys are. Troy Crowley played with the Winnipeg Wild for most of last season, but did play a couple of games with the Blades last year. And
Winnipeg boys are tough.
Was always looking for kind of someone to hit or try to be a difference maker for the 2 minutes of ice time he would have, and now he's a fourth line guy with the Blades and trying to do his part here to get his team going. Chris Cloud with a shot, that one low and wide. Funk pitches in. Chris Cloud. Brett Ward steps in, tries to hold it in, is unable to, and now bringing it back up, it's Jacob Rumpel, who's all alone, and he is eventually stopped.
Funk does a good job of standing up his man and not giving him anything, trying to dip-to-do a little bit of skates. Take the man, take him by the chest, and don't worry about the puck so much, and Funk did a good job there. Look at that again. You can see Funk stands up, gets a stick out, gets his arm out. Not worried about the puck. Let the puck go. Stand up, take your man out, and allow Holtby to jump on the puck and not allow any rebounds.
Wayne Neufeld in net for the Blades now. Logan behind the net. This is Vishnak ahead for McCauley. Back for Vishnak. And Joe Logan moves the puck up ahead. McCangus dumps it down into the Medicine Hat zone where Holfeld leaves it. 2.5 to go now. First period. 3-1.
You see Lauren got the quick change, got his checking line out there with McRae against their big line.
Russell with a pass across. Here's Darren Helm. Helm with a shot. One steered wide, undershoot. Tries to pinch in. Helm being watched there by McRae. Those two had a scrap 4 seconds into the hockey game, and there they are all jammed up behind the net. Tegan's on, working hard there as well. This is Schlemko. Moves it over. Glass with the shot. That one wide of the net. Helm tries to set it out front. Undershoot tried to step into it, but couldn't get his stick on it. Well, the Blades get it down into the Medicine Hat zone. Holfeld leaves it there for Schlemko. Pass ahead. Lowry tries to move it up for Helm, but he's stopped right there. Cameron trying to hold things up. Ward with it now in his own zone. Plays it back for Joe Logan. Minute and a half to go as Logan steps in over the Tiger line. Now going back for the puck is Jordan Benfeld. Pass ahead. Rumpel off the boards and out. Chris Cloud will go back for it for Saskatoon. Being watched by Ennis. Logan has to golf it up down into the Medicine Hat zone, but that doesn't work out. Now it's Cloud with it at the blue line. Cloud tries to get around Bosch. Walker Wintoniak. Galen Patterson couldn't get control of it, and now Tyler Ennis brings it back for the Tigers again. Bumped off the puck by Cloud, and Zahn takes over. Egan's on.
Medicine Hat is so good at owning their own blue line and stepping up, challenging teams coming in and making them make a really good play to beat them. You know what I mean? Like they've owned that blue line so far tonight, and the Blades are having a hard time creating everything on that offensive rush.
Well, they made the most of the 2-on-1. They can get some more of that going, those odd man rushes. That's really going to help out the cause for the Saskatoon and Blades tonight. There's a look at Chris Cloud, and you know how he was discovered? Former Saskatoon Blades coach Kevin Dickey saw him skating at a midget tournament in Saskatoon, and he's phoned the general manager at the time, Brett McEwen, and said, I'm just going to keep an eye on this Chris Cloud kid.
And he's been
around ever since.
Yeah, and he's been a gamer. He does anything what the coach asks him to. He'll go out there and fight. He'll go out there and skate. He'll go out and dump the puck in. And he's just a fantastic kid in the room. And the Blades have had, I think, his third year. I think he played as a 16-year-old, didn't he, Ray?
Yes, he did.
So he's 18 now, and he's a big part of this Blades team.
From Waiwasi-Capo, Manitoba. 25 seconds to go. Stevens with the puck along the near boards for the Tigers, dumping it down into the Saskatoon zone. Joe Logan tries to get control of it, but the Tigers seem to beat the Blades to the puck here as Stevens is behind the net looking for someone to center it to now. Stevens out front, weak shot. That one coming from Tyler Swiston. Another centering pass, an opportunity for Stevens as he dangles, tries to make his way in, but is stopped. And one more weak shot as the buzzer goes, but it is a 3-1 Tigers lead over the Blades, and we talked about how well the Tigers played at both ends, but especially at their blue line.
Yeah, Raina, I don't think either of us are very surprised to see that Willie Desjardins' team has got the fantastically well-coached defensive, trap running here in the road, and it was just, with a team like the Blades that are not, big-time offensively skilled, they're having a tough time getting into the Medicine Hat zone.
So there it is, Dan, 3-1 for the visitors after 20 minutes of play as we send it out to the coast.
All right, thanks, Ray. Coming up in the first intermission, we get Saskatoon defenseman Brad Colt's thought on the first 20 minutes of play. Scott Rintoul will be here for Inside the WHL, plus it's time for another 2-minute minor, this time with Chilliwack Bruins captain Josh Aspinlin. And Ray and Shannon will, of course, return to break down the opening frame. That's all coming up next, right here on Boston Pizza, WHL Hockey on Shaw. Welcome back to WHL Central in Vancouver. After one period of play in Saskatoon, it is the Medicine Hat Tigers leading the Blades 3-1. Jacob Rumpel, David Schlemko, and Tyler Ennis scoring for the Tigers. Colton Gillies countering for the Blades. Time now to go inside the WHL. And guess who's here? Yes, it's Scott Rintoul. Good to see you, Scotty.
Dan, as always, a Tuesday night tilt. A good reason to be talking dub.
You bet. And you know what? We're going to talk dub, but we're kind of go outside the dub. We're going to talk a little bit here about Gilbert Brulé. He started last year in Columbus, started off very well. Injuries were a problem, but he was getting some production, but ended up being sent down to Vancouver to stay in the WHL. This year, not the same. Struggling. He is staying in Columbus, won't be coming back to the WHL, but maybe we'll be seeing him on the World Junior team.
Yeah, that's a possibility, Dan. They did tell Gilbert Brulé in Columbus, go look for permanent lodging. You'll be a part of this organization this year. Unfortunately, since that time, he's not performed well. We all know what a dominant run Gilbert Brulé had last year. As you're seeing right now, during the WHL playoffs and the end of the regular season, he came in, he was the best player in Canada. Despite the fact he didn't win the top award of the Memorial Cup, he should have. We saw what he did during that run. We thought, okay, he's got tons of confidence. He's going to be able to build on that at the NHL level. 11 games so far this season, just 1 goal. And that means if he's a healthy scratch, as he has been for the last 3 games, maybe the Columbus Blue Jackets tell him, go to the World Junior Tournament, get some confidence, maybe go win a gold medal with a Canadian team that will be returning a number of players. Just get that confidence back, Dan, because we've all seen what Gilbert Brulé can do when he's a confident player.
Are you surprised because of the struggles Columbus have? Obviously, they have a new head coach now, that maybe Brulé's not getting more time?
Well, Brulé is just one of the talented people in Columbus this year. And with all the offseason signings the Blue Jackets made, they've got so many people underperforming, you just don't know who to put on which line. Brulé was down playing with Anson Carter, if you can believe that, on the 4th line. I'm surprised that he's been a healthy scratch for 3 straight games. They've had a coaching change in Columbus, so maybe he will see more time. But I'd expect him at this point to at least be making a trip to Calgary for that World Junior Camp.
All right, moving on here, Scott. Kamloops Blazers, they're second in the BC division. Tonight they're going for their 8th win this season against Kelowna. Pretty impressive start to the season. To me, it's a big surprise. Big surprise to you?
Well, I think it's a big surprise that they're doing as well as they have recently. 9-1 in their last 10, and they have been on fire at this point of the season. One of the big reasons in my mind the play of Ray Macias. He's playing defense this year. He'd been shuttled back and forth in the last couple of years between defense and forward. This is a kid who was drafted a couple years ago. Last season, completely a disappointment. He had 38 points. Well, already this year, just playing defense, Ray Macias has 23 points. He's the third leading scorer among defensemen in the WHL. A couple of other reasons, you saw a shot of Dean Clark there behind the bench. Remember, the Kamloops Blazers, after Dean Clark took over behind the bench and did both the GM and coaching duties last year in Kamloops, they made a serious run at being in the playoffs. And if they would adopt that conference playoff format we always talk about, they would have been in the playoffs last year. The third component, Dustin Butler, the kid they picked up out of Portland, the goaltender, he's been outstanding since coming over. He played one game for Portland this year, Dan, gave up 9 goals in his only appearance against the Vancouver Giants, gets traded to Kamloops. Since that time, on only one occasion in 13 games has he allowed more than 3 goals. He's giving them the type of goaltending that we saw out of Devin Dubnyk in the past couple of years in Kamloops. It's what almost got them in the playoffs last year. If Dustin Butler keeps up this play and Ray Macias continues to play that way, I think the Kamloops Blazers are a serious contender.
Yeah, obviously Ray Macias is just an absolutely fantastic skater. I want to go back to touching about Dean Clark just a little bit more. I think at this point in time, obviously he had a great success with Calgary, but I think a lot of people maybe not necessarily underestimate him, but they forget about how good a coach he is.
Well, after he was in Calgary, of course, he went to Brandon. Things didn't exactly work out for Dean Clark there. He came to Kamloops, he was coaching the team, but wanted to move up to the general manager's position because of the slow start last season. The board of directors in Kamloops said, we want you back behind the bench. We're getting rid of the head coach. He's been good at motivating his players no matter where he's been in the WHL. I'm not surprised he's having so much success with the Blazers.
All right, Scott, one final topic. We talked about it last week. Kendall McCardle, the rumor mill speculation about him getting traded. A lot of teams in the mix. What are you hearing now?
Well, I'm hearing that there's 4 teams involved as we speak, 3 of them out of the BC division alone. The Kamloops Blazers are one of the teams interested in Kendall McCardle. They're willing to give up a couple of roster players. Prince George, if you can believe it, despite all the activity they've had up in PG, their team has come up in rumors as well, talking about sending Tyrell the other way. That's one of the names that has come up. Of course, it's all speculation at this point. The Vancouver Giants, of course, are still in the mix. And then you throw in the Medicine Hat Tigers. That's the most recent team to join the fray. 4 teams bidding for the services of Kendall McCardle at this point from what we're hearing. Chad Lang, the GM of the Warriors, can simply sit back and get the highest price for his guy.
Well, of course, he was out here in BC last week doing some scouting, so I think he may be just waiting to see what people will be offering. All right, thanks, Scott. That's all the time we have for Inside the WHL. We got more coming up in this first intermission after the break, including a 2-minute minor with Chilliwack Bruins captain Josh Aspinall. Welcome back to Boston Pizza WHL Hockey on Shaw. After one period of play at the Credit Union Center in Saskatoon, it is the Blades trailing the Medicine Hat Tigers 3-1. Medicine Hat out shooting Saskatoon 13-6 in the first. To hear more about the first 20 minutes of play, let's go back to the rink where Heath Mulligan is standing by with Saskatoon defenseman Brad Cole.
Brad Cole of the Saskatoon Blades, a bit of a rocky first period, the quick start for Medicine Hat, the goaltending change all of a sudden. How do things like that impact you when you have this young team and the mission is to come out and try and be aggressive?
I mean, we're going to have our highs and lows, but 2 times there we fought, we beat them up, we laid a beating on them, so you got to take that momentum and go forward in the next period, look at the positives.
The late goal can't hurt either.
No, definitely, and I mean, we got to quit giving up 2-on-1s and odd man rushes here. It's been a problem.
So is that the message in the dressing room from the leaders on the team, defensive responsibilities?
Yeah, I think so. We need to calm down a bit too. I mean, like you said, we got a young team. We get going, our nerves get going a little bit. So we're in an all right position right here. We just got to calm down and go in the next period.
Thanks. Good luck in the second.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Heath. Now, in his 5 years in the WHL, Chilliwack Bruins captain Josh Aspinall has run into some pretty tough competition. He thought he had seen it all until he ran into WHL Central's version of the 2-minute minor.
Okay, 2 minutes to get inside Josh Aspinall's head. Let's start off. You're a BC boy. Ski or board?
Board, I guess. I haven't done much of either, so.
Okay, mountain or beach?
Definitely mountain.
Burgers or steak?
Steak.
Steak all the way?
Steak all the way.
Good choice. Car or motorcycle?
Oh, car. Or truck, if I can throw that one in there.
Okay, you can amend them any way you want.
Okay.
Blonde or brunette?
Brunette, just to make my sisters happy.
Okay, good. Now let's talk a little bit about stuff away from the game. We'll continue with that. Movies, comedy, or action?
Action, I say.
Last movie that you had time to see?
Oh, Jesus, what movie did I... saw the Prestige, actually, last week. So.
Oh, okay, good that you got the time in there.
Yeah.
Sport other than hockey that you played?
Soccer.
If you were a football player, what position would you play?
Quarterback.
Quarterback? Good. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about hockey. Best part of your game?
Tenacity.
And the part that you'd like to improve on?
My shot.
Your shot? Good. Teammate that reminds you the most of a comic book character?
Archibald.
Strongest teammate?
Our strongest teammate? Physical strength, I'd have to say Stosy or Aki.
And the funniest teammate? Practical joker?
Metke.
If Coach Hillier was a dog, what type would he be?
Oh boy, German Shepherd.
And last one, favorite celebrity that you'd like to pass the puck with?
Favorite celebrity? Oh boy, Bob Barker.
Good. Good luck tonight.
All right, thank you.
All right, time to check in on the out-of-town scoreboard. Just two other games this evening. It's the Regina Pats leading the Portland Winterhawks 3-0. Mike Reach, Kyle Ross, each with a goal and assist for the Pats. Portland on a three-game losing streak. Later on tonight, it'll be Kelowna in Kamloops. The Blazers going for their 8th straight win. All right, time now to go back to the Credit Union Center where Ray and Shannon are standing by with highlights and analysis from the first period. Guys?
All right, Dan. Well, we thought the Medicine Hat was going to be able to come in here and play a very strong game, Shannon Brisky, and there's no question about it. They have. They turned up the heat offensively. We talked about, I hate to use the word trap, but that's eventually what it was. But you made the great comment about the Tigers at their own blue line and how it's very tough for the best of teams in this league to get in there and generate chances. And when you take a look at a younger Blades team, it's even more of a challenge.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think they knew that the Blades maybe don't have the most offensively talented team. And let's say, Blades like, let's challenge these guys at the blue line. Let's challenge them at the forecheck. Let's take away space and time. And that's exactly what they did to a T. And you saw one time they got caught, then the Blades got by them, resulted in a 2-on-1 and the only goal the Blades got. So they've got to come a little bit more speed and find a way to bust that trap through the middle and up the ice. And, the one time they did that, they found some success.
It is interesting. Blaine Neufeld came in to play goal for the Saskatoon Blades after the second goal that the Medicine Hat Tigers came on to score, and then there's that and the Crowley fight, and we'll get to some highlights in a minute. But if you take a look at those two instances for the Saskatoon Blades, you'll wonder if in the early stages of the second period, if they're going to be able to come away and generate something.
Well, and listening to Brad Cole speak at the intermission as well, he's talking about, it's a young team. They're really excited. They're excitable. And they see the Medicine Hat Tigers. They were down 3-0, and all of a sudden they hit the panic button a little bit. And he talked about just sort of calming down. And then a guy like Troy Colley comes out with a bunch of energy. And it's almost like you want to see him come out with a ton of energy and a ton of stuff. But at the same time, you want to do that with purpose. When young teams get excited, and all of a sudden they try and do a little bit too much and get caught out of zone, and then the veteran team and the veteran players like Medicine Hat, next thing you know, it's in the back of your net.
I was surprised to see McRae and Helm fight 4 seconds into the period. If I was to pick two guys who would drop the mitts in a situation like that, it wouldn't be those two guys. But you almost do get the sense as well that the Blades are trying to maintain some sort of motivation and some sort of momentum as the game comes on.
Well, and the other thing, and Lauren mentioned it before the game, was we don't want to give these guys too much respect. Let's challenge them. And Justin McRae has been known, and talking with the coaching staff, a quiet guy that leads by example. And he sort of said, I'm going to take on their top scorer and let's see if we can't get something going here. And that's I think I understand what he's trying to do.
Yeah, well, let's wheel our way through some of the highlights here of this first period and see what exactly transpired here in pictures as far as this contest was concerned. And you mentioned it off the top. I mean, Medicine Hat very good, and here's the goal from Jacob Rumpel.
And the big talented defenseman. It looks like the game plan was, let's get the puck to the net and get some traffic. Baldwin puts it to the net, and again, defenseman on the Saskatoon side looked like they're standing still a little bit miscommunication resulted in the back of the net.
David Schlemko at 12:32.
And again, the same sort of thing. Throw it at the net, and Holtby just couldn't quite find it. It went up the post, and we're going to see it. You know, and it looked like Holtby was just a little bit confused. Went up the post, almost hit him in the back of the leg, and then somehow found the back of the net. But again, we've got 3 white jerseys there, and we got a couple of blue guys wondering what the heck's going on.
And then there's the 3-0 goal. A quick shot when Neufeld came in, and he was just freshly pulled. There's Colton Gillies' goal to make it a 3-1 hockey game right there. Is where we stand right now, and that was a great pass. And then we talked about the energy. Enter Troy Crowley.
And these are 2 young guys, and Cameron Colvin, an AP, and Crowley, a 17-year-old, and these guys are just going at it. You can see Crowley's going to hit him a couple times in the button, and let you know, Cameron, you got to give him credit. An AP called up playing in AAA last week, and he's up playing with the guys, and you know, love to see that stuff. Guys competing, guys challenging, and it's great to see.
And you know what? That happened in the later stages of the period. If the Blades don't get 2 down and can maybe make something happen, and it wouldn't even have to be a goal, just something where they can stay in and compete, I would think.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they've got a lot of positive things to talk about that period. You know, I didn't think they got outplayed terribly. It was kind of a couple small breakdowns, and you know, end up in the back there. That's what a veteran team like the Medicine Hat Tigers can do to you.
All right, we'll be back with second period action from Credit Union Center. It is 3-1 for the Tigers over the Blades after 20. Ray Morrison with Shannon Brisky back at Credit Union Center, just nicely underway here in the second period. 3-1, the Tigers leading the Blades, and the Tigers looking for more as Dorsett breaks to the net. That one lobbed in, and Neufeld hangs on to it. There's going to be a penalty here, a high stick. And we have a penalty here. It is going to the Saskatoon Blades. Ryan Monet, the leading scorer in the box. Not the guy you want in the box.
No, and not the team you want in the power play.
That's right. Although it's not good enough for Willie Desjardins. No. We'll give up that trend here. We'll give up that theme here in a bit. This is Rumble moving it over. Let go with a shot. That one tipped high over the glass and out of play.
And that's one thing the Blades goalies, you talk to goalies, I play defense, and they'll hate that. Number 5 for the Blades, Visnak, puts the puck, his stick in front of the puck on a shot by Schlemko, and that could have just as easily, it skidded out of the zone and out of play, but that could have been in the back of the net too. And don't put your stick down. Don Cherry would be losing his mind right now if he saw that, Ray.
David Schlemko from Edmonton, Alberta. Trying to make something happen here with Russell and this high-powered unit for the Tigers. Schlemko tries to dance away from Wintoniak. Tigers can't keep it in, and eventually Schlemko has it at center. Tries to pass right back in and goes down into the Saskatoon zone where Visnak gets control of it and sends it the length of the ice.
Little better job challenging the Medicine Hat defender. You got to be careful. You don't want to challenge guys too much. It'll make you look silly. But I think it's important to put pressure on these guys.
David Schlemko with a pass ahead for Dorsett. Dorsett tried to move it back for Stevens, but that's broken up by McCauley and lifted back down into the Medicine Hat zone. Colton Gillies, the one man in on the forecheck as the Blades are shorthanded.
Colton Gillies has been a little bit quieter tonight than I think the Blades would like to see.
Shot, rebound in front. Darren Helm trying to make something happen here as he had 2 cracks at it, but the Blades hold the Tigers at bay. This is Glass sending it down into the corner. Helm turning away. Gillies tries to get the puck out, and it's sent down into the Medicine Hat zone. Jordan Benfeld. Joe Logan. Oh, gloved as he tried to move it out. Benfeld gloved it, but then couldn't find it, and eventually Logan will hammer it out.
Logan caught a break there. You don't want to go up the middle to on the PK and have it go right to the defend the Medicine Hat defenseman there. That was lucky.
Jordan Benfeld lays it back for Glass, too far for him. Tyler Ennis back for it. Ennis turns away from Wintoniak and tries to get something going. Ennis for the shot. That one gloved, and the goaltender Neufeld hangs on. Let's join Heath Mulligan downstairs. Heath.
You know, the people that you find in the stands at a hockey game here in Saskatchewan. Former Rough Rider legend George Reed is here tonight. What a pleasure it is to meet you, sir. An honor, I might say. And and thanks for coming out to Saskatoon. You're here to speak at a Special Olympics breakfast tomorrow morning, and you've been involved with the Special Olympics for a long, long time.
I've been with the Special Olympics in 1968, and I really enjoy the work they've done and the progress that the Special Olympics have made, and also with the Blades, with their scholarship program for the kids that don't go on the play pro. I think it's very happy. We need that very much.
What motivates you to keep doing all this stuff? A volunteer like this for so many years after football's gone.
Well, what good causes causing me to want to do things. I don't do a lot of them. I kind of pick and choose what I do and everything. And of course, Special Olympics will always be dear to me. And I had a hand in starting the first scholarship programs for junior hockey, and so I'm happy to see that continue too and everything.
We're happy that you could come and talk with us and enjoy the rest of the hockey game. Thanks, George.
Thank you very much.
Back upstairs, fellas.
34, looks like he could still play. In the car business in Alberta now, in Calgary.
The classy man.
Oh, he really is. One of the best. Puck down into the Saskatoon zone. Ward trying to get it out by Dorsett. Dorsett working hard, and the Blades have to use the near boards to get it out now as McCangus has it. Manages to get it down into the Medicine Hat zone for McCauley. Tried to drop it back. Gillies takes a golf at it. McCauley in the corner. Gillies steps out with it. Moves it back for Tegan's on. This is Gillies with a shot. That one is blocked. One of the Tigers took that off the hand, and that's got to hurt. Jordan Benfeld coming off hurt. This is Dorsett for the Tigers. Dumping it down into the Saskatoon zone. There's a high stick, and Tegan Zahn goes down, and now Colton Gillies is going to take this up with Dorsett. And there'll be a scrum in front of the Medicine Hat bench as Zahn went down with a stick to the face, maybe, and Dorsett's heading off.
Well, the proverbial thorn in your side. Tegan Zahn steps up on Dorsett, a veteran, tough guy in the league, and Tegan Zahn, the 16-year-old, just sort of challenging him at the blue line. And what happens is they sort of get in, and here you can see the hit. He stands up. Good job by Zahn. He's not going to be intimidated by him. And they get kind of mixed up here, and he gets the old whack.
Yikes.
And got up on him. So I'm not sure. No, it's only 2 minutes, Ray, but, obviously didn't cut him. So lucky for Dorsett.
And I'll tell you what, I know Dorsett didn't mean to get the stick up in his face, but I think it went off a glove or something, maybe. Yeah. It went up and caught Zahn.
I'm not sure if they got their sticks tangled up or what the heck, but the result is Blades power play. So hopefully the Blades can have a little more success here on their power play.
This is the Blades' first power play opportunity tonight. Tigers already have one on the man advantage. Cameron dumps it down into the Medicine Hat zone. Russell turns away with it, tries to get it out. And now streaking away with it, it's Russell. It's a 2-on-1 and they're shorthanded. Russell to Helm. That shot wide of the net.
That's how quick Russell jumps from the defensive zone into the offense and makes a fantastic play for Helm, who just, it was a great save by Neufeld. He missed the net, Ray. I'm not sure what happened. Couldn't see from tackle from here.
This is Vishnak with it at the line, and he'll dump it down into the Medicine Hat zone. 1:15 to go in this man advantage for Saskatoon. And Medicine Hat, they'll control that puck all day and make sure the Blades don't get an opportunity to do it. But here's McCauley turning with it at the Medicine Hat line. Pass across. Gillies wasn't ready for it, so McCauley goes over and gets it himself. McCauley dumps it down for Wintoniak. Wintoniak is forced to give the puck up to Mark Isherwood. Blades retake control. McCauley steering away from his man. Ward trying to hold it in. Gillies. McCauley. For Gillies across, this is Funk. Ryan Funk with a shot. Actually tried to pass it to McCauley, and that one didn't work out. There's Ward through traffic. That one blocked. Funk tried to get another pass through to Gillies, but the Tigers get it to the line and out. Half minute left to go, and the penalty to Dorsett. Funk on the attack again to Gillies. Chris Cloud tries to get a stick on it, but Stevens picks it up, and a good job by Chris Stevens to get the puck the length of the ice. Neufeld steers that away from Lowry.
See the Blades trying to force it just a little bit there. Ryan Funk, maybe had a lane down to the corner, tried to make the low percentage pass through the box, and all of a sudden it's down the ice.
Dustin McRae tries to move it over for Ryan Monet, the Blades' leading scorer. Ward over there as well. But eventually it's just golfed the length of the ice by Stevens and back down. That's going to be icing as the penalty's over.
Just as a penalty, yes. You can definitely see the effort, and there's Dorsett back out of the box, and the proverbial pain in the you-know-what, and he's a very effective player, and Willie Desjardins said a huge part of their team does everything for him. Let's have a look. Here's Russell moving into the play from on the short end, and I don't know, it looks like he just missed the net. You know, and those are the wrong two guys you want, Helm and Russell coming down on you on a 2-on-1 shorthanded. So Blades got to watch those guys jumping in very quickly.
Brad Cole with the puck at his own line, being watched by Rumpel, but gets a pass ahead. Walker Wintoniak tries to control the puck. David Schlemko over there. Troy Crowley. And a scrap earlier with Brett and Cameron that brought the fans to their feet. Here's Russell with Ennis breaking to the net. Russell with a shot. Neufeld gloves it and hangs on and is bumped, and Crowley would dearly love to go and start something up again, but thinks the better of it with 12:43 to go in the second period. There's a look at this stop that was made here by Neufeld.
You can see Russell controlling the play, shot, and you watch the Medicine guy coming late and hard to the net. You know, they always come hard to the net, and the Blades have to be aware that they come with speed and they come with a lot of aggressive pressure on the forecheck rate.
Neufeld was acquired from the Medicine Hat Tigers last month. 29 stops and a 5-2 loss to Moose Jaw back on November 3rd, and back in the net tonight as the faceoff is to the right of the Blades goaltender. Garrett Klotz, one of his rare shifts on the ice, dumps it down into the Medicine Hat zone as he tries to get on the chase with McCauley. Tigers take control of it and bring it back out to center, though. Ennis dumps it down into the Saskatoon zone. Jacob Rumpel over there as well. Tyler Swiston circles and waits in front in case the puck comes his way, but the Blades get control of it. Logan gets it out to center. Trevor Glass, number 5, gets it up. This is Ennis. Bosch is going to go on the chase as Joe Logan goes back for it. Brendan Bosch watching him. Pass ahead. McCauley lifts it to the blue line. Not simply gloved by Isherwood. Darren Helm has it. Helm at center. With Undershoot, Helm tries to get a shot away, but that one is steered wide. Undershoot picks it up. Helm tries to move it out front for Bosch, but Vishnak is there to break that up. Helm all the way back to the point. Shot is knocked down, and the Blades manage to get the puck out. Away they go on a 3-on-2. Ryan Manet with McRae and McLeod. The shot from Manet, that one is wide. Steered wide by the goaltender. Bosch for Undershoot. Stepping in. And there's going to be a penalty call as Skilleter, the referee, waves his arms is holding motion, so there's going to be a penalty here. Let's hear from Chris Russell, who talked about his team, not offense, but defense.
We really like that, great first passes and try and get out of our zone as quick as we can so teams can't really get an attack on us. And, there's some big guys back there, with the Baldwin and Bender, and, they like to punish guys. They'll hit guys and make it rough on, their team's forwards. And, guys like me, Schlemko, and Glass are more up ice defensemen, like to challenge, guys coming through, coming back.
So Undershoot goes to the box for holding, and the Blades are 0 for 1 on the power play. They had one shot on the man advantage so far tonight.
I'd like to see a little bit more composure, a little slow things down a little bit. We talked about that at the break, where they get a lot of young players in the team. They get a little bit excited in the power play, maybe force things a little bit much. When things aren't going to the back of the net, it's tough sometimes. So look at these guys, just slow the puck down, slowly make the good first pass and see what happens.
Ward moves it over for Funk. Funk tries to get it by his man and out. Puck goes back down into the Blade zone. More example of how tough it is to penetrate that Medicine Hat end. Ryan Funk for McCauley. Russell takes a wave at the puck. Trevor Glass going back there as well for Medicine Hat to see if they can get the puck out. Blades down low, working though. McCangus kicks it loose. McCauley comes away with it. Back for Vishnak. For Joe Logan. Bodan Vishnak again with a shot through traffic. That one wide. Chris Russell goes over, tries to play it around the boards. Logan holds it in, puts it right back down into the corner where McCangus steers it back there. Russell tries to move it out. Trevor Glass is going to step over and see if he can lend a hand as well.
Gillies put a nice big hit on Chris Russell, and that's what you got to do to Chris Russell to take him off his game a little bit. It's tough to do, period, but Gillies got to put a hit on him. That was a good job.
Now this is Bodan Vishnak. Tigers still shorthanded, and the Blades will see if they can generate one more rush here before this penalty comes to an end. Logan for Vishnak one more time. Simply feathers it into the Medicine Hat zone. Holfeld around the boards. Logan will see if he can hold it in. Justin McCray over there with Manet and Cameron.
Just about do it for the penalty here, right?
And Darren Helm brings it away. Both teams in full strength. There's a pass ahead. This is undershoot, and that is called on the offside. We'll take a break. 3-1 Tigers. 9:11 left to go in period 2. So we get set for the second half of the second period here at Credit Union Center, with the Tigers leading the Blades by a count of 3-1. Face-off in the neutral zone. Tegan's on. Dumps it down into the Medicine Hat end. Holfeld lets that one go by. McCray tries to get control of it for the Blades. Russell over there trying to fish it out, but McCray comes away with it for Saskatoon. McCray dumps it down low. Eventually Dorsett gets it out though as he kicks it ahead. Tegan's on, hustles over. Stevens trying to get over there, but Manet tried to get a pass over to Justin McCray. That doesn't work out all that well as Mark Isherwood goes back to see if he can help get the puck out. Stevens over there as well, but McCray has it back behind the net. Tegan's on, can't hold it in though. Brad Cole just plays it off the boards and back to the blue line. Trying to turn in and make something happen. Now it's Manet. This is Cameron who fanned on his shot. Gets control of the puck again. Another shot. That one held out. Stevens to the line and out. Joe Logan couldn't quite hold that puck in at the line. And there's a look at Holfeld from Leroy, Saskatchewan. We talked about how this 5-game win streak started with him in net. And pretty good job here so far as the Blades have had 9 shots on net tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. He's done everything he's had to. You see shots about the side of the net here. A little bit of traffic, and again, you see the white jersey defenseman. There's no blue jerseys around the net. You see it at the Blades end. You know, there's a puck goes in net, Ray. There's 3 or 4 white guys coming in hard and making it real tough on the goaltender and the Saskatoon Blade defenseman. You know, at the other end, you know, Lauren talked about the guys got to go to those tough spots. You want to score goals against good teams, you got to get in the trenches and get to those tough spots, and you're going to get dirty and you're going to get maybe a little bit beat up, but that's how you're going to score goals against Medicine Hats. They're just too good. Defensemen are too sound. And if you're not willing to pay the price and get in front of the net and beg more and steal a goal, it's not going in.
Well, and you wonder how Lauren Mulliken would feel about 9 shots on net halfway through the game, because that's exactly what he says. Talked about that wall at the Medicine Hat line. They seem to have that up rather well tonight. Chris Cloud trying to walk out, but that one is broken up by the Tigers as they get it out back to the neutral ice area. Ward dumps it in, and Benfeld will go back for it there for Medicine Hat. Jordan Benfeld from Leduc, Alberta moves the puck up. Blades take control. Colton Gillies from McCauley. Bodan Vishnak, who walks around Bosch. Vishnak is going to see if he can make something happen. McCauley with a shot. Oh, that one squirted wide, but McCauley wasn't quite there. Or McCangus, pardon me, wasn't quite there for the rebound. Gillies tries to get a shot through traffic, but that one picked up by Glass. Trevor Glass at center. Sends it down, and it's going to be whistled down. I guess they thought that Neufeld was going to love that. There's a look at McCauley. What an opportunity. What a chance that we just saw moments ago.
You see Vishnak puts the puck right on net McCauley, and again, we're finally seeing some pressure and some pucks going to the net, and I think maybe they had a little bit of a talking to in the last minute. We see Dave Strush and something like Trumbley and Lauren Mulliken having a talk with the boys. Let's get to the net, boys. Let's get some pressure. We see a puck going to the net because they're really pushing everything to the outside. Let's get to the net, look for a rebound, okay?
Blades will bring it out. They get it to center where Isherwood sends it right back in. 7 minutes to go, just a little less than here in period 2. Brad Cole for Saskatoon tried to move it ahead. Justin McCray with the pass ahead. Ryan Manet couldn't get control of it, and now going back for it is Isherwood. He's trying to make something happen down low here. That's the only way this is going to happen for them, but McCray goes down. Ryan Manet goes over, being watched by Helm. Manet again tries to chip it down to McCray. Trying to keep control of it is Isherwood, though. Isherwood keeping a close eye on his man, and now Helm tries to move it out for undershoot, but Cole gets it right back in. Isherwood high off the boards, and now the Tigers eventually get it out. This is Helm over the line. Low, weak shot. Neufeld steers that to the corner where Tegan's on, picks it up. Helm just about put the clutch on.
Great play by Tegan's on, veteran play for a 16-year-old kid.
Scott Scrudlin with a shot that's low and wide. Vishnak at center now for Saskatoon. Plays it back as the Blades survey the ice. Joe Logan turns away from Brendan Bosch, passes it to Vishnak. Vishnak lifts it down into the Medicine Hat end. Russell steers it out and back down into the Saskatoon zone.
Well, the Blades are starting to put a few shifts together here, Ray, where they're simply making, simple plays. Let's get it deep and try and see if we can work the cycle a little bit.
Skrudland and Rumpel battling for the puck there. Tigers are going to keep it in here now. Bosch for Trevor Glass with a shot. Neufeld decides to hang on to that as he saw it all the way in. There's a look at Neufeld from Winkler, Manitoba. We talked about him, a former Tiger.
And again, the goaltenders are going to stop the pucks they can see. You can see the first shot coming in here, right in the crest, no problem. But again, you'll see the white player sitting off the doorstep of the goal. Where's the Blades defenseman, if in fact we do see a rebound. But good job by Neufeld, smother the puck and not allow that second chance.
I thought it was a good play by the defenseman to stay out of the way of the shot, to be honest with you, because it's got to be tempting to stick a stick out in front of a shot like that.
Yeah, we saw
it. Really does, right?
Yeah, it is at times, for sure.
Cole tries to pass ahead, but it's held up at the line. Eventually, Saskatoon moves the puck out to center, and now in. McCangus trying to catch up to the puck for Saskatoon. Back at center ice. McCangus with McCauley out there. Dorsett and Cole tied up behind the play. There's a shot. Colton Gillies, just about had a chance to step in and make something happen there.
This line's putting together a couple shifts here, Ray. It's Hawley and McCangus and Gillies.
Trying to make it go. Play whistled down here. I don't think there's a penalty call. I don't know.
Tegan Zahn's not taking anything from Derek Dorsett, which is good to see. He's a 16-year-old. And Derek Dorsett is a tough customer from Kindersley, Saskatchewan. You'll see here, Tegan Zahn, no thanks.
You know what, Derek Dorsett, the interesting story about Derek Dorsett, 22 points this year, 7 goals, 15 assists, but also leads the team in penalty minutes at 86.
Yeah, he'd
score, stand up for himself. Those are the guys you love.
Everybody wants a guy like that in their team, and no one wants to play against him. But Tegan Zahn's doing a good job as a young guy. They've been battling all night, so it's good to see on both sides. Guys are having a good battle tonight.
Walker Wintoniak being watched by Isherwood. Tyler Swiston around trying to keep control of the puck, but the Blades have control now as Ward. Now it's Cloud with an opportunity. Wintoniak in front. Chris Cloud will play it back. Funk with a shot from the point, and
good shift.
Holfeld hangs on.
Blades are starting to turn around a little bit, get a little bit of momentum here, and they're working it in the corners, and they're starting to wear down a little bit of these Medicine Hat Tiger defensemen. And we've seen 2 or 3 good shifts in a row here, and they keep doing this. So here comes Chris Cloud coming in. Not much room. Holfeld does a great job of taking away any opportunity there, but then you'll see shot right back from the point, and almost finds a way through the back of the net. But those big pads again, Ray.
If all goes well, the Blades will keep that pressure up on Holfeld for the home fans here, but the Tigers have to give them credit. They are playing another exceptional road game.
Yeah, no wrong as the guys are in the corner, keeping to the outside, which the Tigers have done a great job. Tough to score from there.
Here's Darren Helm trying to catch up with the puck. Tried to move it back for Lowry. Lowry now has it. Tries to move out in front, and there's going to be a call. Underwood hauled down, and there's going to be a call as Underwood tried to make a step for the puck. He was tripped, and Justin McRae's going to go off on the penalty, and those little tiny things now are almost automatic, and that was a point-blank trip, even if you step on a player's stick sometimes they're calling this. Let's have a look at this.
You see, Justin McRae just doesn't quite, he loses body, just loses his man essentially. Goes by him here, and now he's forced to trip him. Again, got focused on the puck. Take the man. That's 3 or 4 times we've seen that, Ray. Take the man and do your job and defensively, and then there's no penalty to worry about.
So this is Russell moving it back. Klemko, shot from the far side comes to Dorsett. That one's held out. Cole tries to get it out. Swiston with a shot that's high and wide. Tigers playing physical as Stevens stepped into Gillies. Cole trying to get the puck out. Stevens and Gillies again. Gillies hustles the puck out to center and down into the Medicine Hat zone.
Chris Stevens from Dawson Creek leads the team with 7 power play goals.
That's over the line and called on the offside.
There's Ryan Monet, the 20-year-old that was kind of caught in the numbers game there a little bit, and coming on as a 20-year-old, really as a top scorer, has really sort of blossomed. Came back into camp in great shape, and the guys were basically forced the Blades to keep him.
Now the Tigers watching the Blades try to come in and make something happen, but Lowry has control of the puck. Undershoot with him. Undershoot tries to drop it back for Lowry. This is Isherwood on the far side for Trevor Glass. Helm steers it down into the corner. Undershoot. Isherwood for Glass. There's the shot. Neufeld hangs on there with Lowry right on the doorstep. And there's a look at Trevor Glass from Cochrane, Alberta. There's a look at the Blades goaltender who loves to slow the play down if he can. But Glass and the Tigers, I'll tell you what, they're just potent on the power play with McRae in the box here.
Yeah, absolutely. The good thing I like about this play is we've got no white defenders in front of the net, and then the blue defenseman, Blades defenseman, kept everyone to the outside. Do that, you should be successful on the penalty kill.
Schlemko moves it down. Tyler Ennis tries to dipsy doodle around a couple of Blades and get a chance. Now Schlemko pulls the puck in through traffic with a shot. That one doesn't make it through. Another shot. That one's blocked as well. Schlemko's just going to keep shooting here. This is Brennan Bosch. Tries to get a pass across to Ennis, and that is broken up. And now Cameron comes away with it for Saskatoon. 10 seconds left to go here. Out in front, an opportunity. Cameron 1, 2, but can't put it in. And the Tigers bring it right back. This is Russell. And that is called on the offside.
Just a fantastic play down at our end here in the Blade zone with Tegan's on, getting down and blocking that pass by Brennan Bosch across, probably for a wide open net goal. And the Blades take it down the other end and get a good opportunity on scoring a shorthanded goal. So great play defensively down here. Chris Cloud lost his stick.
Look at Cameron trying to make it go here.
Working hard. Oh, great save by Holfeld. 1, 2, 3 chances. Yep. So good work by Cameron. Good job by Holfeld. But fairly positive penalty kill. Blades can maybe draw some momentum on here in the last minute and maybe try and.
Face-off just inside the line.
Looks like we're back on the penalty kill.
Another penalty here. Troy Crowley is in the box. Too many men on the ice. That's the call. So now the Tigers are going to the man advantage here again. Joe Logan dumps it in. And with just less than a minute to go, the Blades will be happy to stand at the line and make sure nothing happens here and just get off in the room. Down by 2. Fishnack plays out off the boards and back down into the Medicine Hat end. Medicine Hat 1 for 4 on the power play with 8 shots with the man advantage so far tonight. Tyler Swiston hustling down for the Tigers, but the Blades lifted up. They tried to get it over the glass. That must have hit a Tiger stick, or else they probably would have called that delay of game.
Yeah, and that's one of the rules I'm not real crazy about. As an old defenseman, it was tough.
There's Willie Desjardins, former U of S Husky, played for Dave King. If I'm not mistaken, coached with Dave King, and is a former coach of the Saskatoon Blades as well, and has done an outstanding job with the Medicine Hat Tigers here and having this team be competitive. And in the Central Division of the Western Hockey League, it is really survival of the fittest. Take a look at the Red Deers and the Calgarys and how good those teams have been over the years.
Yeah. Willie's just a from what I get from him, I've obviously never played under him, but he's a fantastic coach, demands the respect and gets respect from his players, and just has everyone working for him and playing for him, which is a credit to him, absolutely.
Few seconds left. Helm back for Benfeld with a shot. That one steered wide. That was close. Tigers turning with it again. Undershoot. Dangles in front of McRae, but the whistle goes. So still 3-1.
3-1. And, I saw some good things from the Saskatoon Blades and how they sort of started to get the forecheck going, dumping it in. They broke through broke a lot of the, that seemed like they broke a little bit of the trap down Ray a little bit, and we got guys working like McCauley and McRae and Gillies, stepped up and played a little bit physical, and we're starting to, hang on to the puck for a little bit. Let's control a little bit of the play down low and wait for something to happen instead of maybe forcing things a little bit, what I saw in the first period.
At one time, the shots were 18-9. Now they're 24-16. So there were a couple of shots that made its way towards the net.
Yeah, and the other thing, on the other side of the puck, defensively, you know, we're looking at Cole and Zahn logged a ton of minutes that time, and it seemed like they were playing up and stepping up, and that was probably addressed in the first intermission, and I thought did a fantastic job that way as well.
Okay, Dan, we'll send it back to Vancouver. 3-1 Tigers after 40.
All right, thanks, Ray. Coming up in between periods, Tigers forward Derek Dorsett will join Heath Mulligan rinkside. As well, we'll get a behind-the-scenes look at the Blades support staff, plus a story on one of the top goaltenders in the entire league. Not playing tonight, but that's Medicine Hat's Matt Keatley. And as usual, we'll take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. 2 other games tonight. And of course, Ray and Shannon will be back to break down the second frame. So stick around. It's all coming up next right here on Boston Pizza, WHL Hockey on Shaw. Welcome back to WHL Central in Vancouver. After 2 periods of play in Saskatoon, is the Medicine Hat Tigers leading the Blades 3-1. No scoring in the second period. All scoring coming in the first. Jacob Rumpel, David Schlemko, Tyler Ennis scoring for the Tigers. Colton Gillies countering for the Blades as the Tigers have outshot Saskatoon 24-16 through 2 periods of play. Now, there was some definite concern at the end of October for Medicine Hat Tigers head coach Willie Desjardins when goalie Matt Keatley went down with a knee injury. Luckily, though, it was only a minor injury, and after 2 weeks off, Keatley came back with a vengeance, going 4-0 with 2 shutouts and earning CHL Goalie of the Week honors. With more, here's Nicole Walkler.
He's back, and it couldn't make coaches, players, and fans happier.
They recognize how important he is to our success, and I think the guys play with a little bit more confidence. That's not taking anything away from Holy. He'll get there one day, but Keats is just a real strong goaltender, and he's aggressive and confident.
Getting that injury kind of made everything go even faster. The shots, everything just seemed to be quicker in practice last week. So it's exciting for the fans to be pumped for us to be back. And some of the guys, Ryan stepped in and he did a really good job, and it was good to see it.
Yes, the Medicine Hat Tigers have their #1 tender back in the lineup after a knee injury kept Matt Keatley from playing in a handful of important games against top teams like the Calgary Hitmen and Vancouver Giants.
It's really, really boring sitting out and watching your team not do as well as you want. So that was one of the big things I really wanted to come back for.
Keatley has been with the Tigers his entire WHL career, which couldn't be more perfect as the goaltender grew up in Medicine Hat. He became their #1 in the 2004-2005 season when former Bengal Kevin Nastjiuk went out with an injury. Since then, he's helped lead his team to conference and divisional titles, and for his final season, Keatley would like to make sure he leaves his mark.
I just want to come out every game and just have the biggest heart for this team and for the Crest. My 4 years of this team has been nothing but great times. I'll probably miss this more than anything I've ever missed in the world.
Number 33 was drafted by the Calgary Flames in 2005. This summer, he had the chance to spend time at their training camp, and when most players were being sent home, it was the big man himself, Daryl Sutter, who asked Keatley to stay and play with Omaha.
And then there's just me, and I'm looking around, and there's a couple of there's like Jerome McGinley and all those guys. I'm getting some shots, and they scored a few, and I stopped a few, so it worked out. So it was really exciting, even to play, to even get that shot.
His ultimate goal is, of course, to play in the NHL. But if that doesn't work out, Matt Keatley does have a backup plan thanks to Alberta's labor shortage.
I can say I have my diploma, and if I need to use my college eligibility, well, I might be a little old, but I'll push for that. Maybe get into a trade or something and work with my hands.
Nicole Walkler, Shaw TV, Medicine Hat.
All right, thanks, Nicole. Now, if there's anybody in the WHL who knows a thing or two about scoring a Gordie Howe hat trick, it's Medicine Hat Tiger Derek Dorsett. Last year, he had 25 goals and 279 penalty minutes. This year, he's on pace to do the same, and right now, he's standing by ringside with Heath Mulligan.
Derek Dorsett of the Medicine Hat Tigers, a comfortable lead here after the second period, and it was a quick start that got your team going tonight, and you guys seem to be able to just control the game and run with that lead.
Yeah, we've had a lot of games where we've gave up some leads, and that's one of the things we've been working on is trying to get on teams early and get a good solid lead going into the third, and that's what we got now, and now we just have to play with it, and hopefully we can get through it.
You're one of the physical presences on the Medicine Hat Tigers team, and the Blades tried to be rather physical with you guys in the first period. And what does a team that's in your position, that is leading the league, do to combat that sort of thing? Because I'm sure it's coming at you every night.
Oh, we just have to, we just have to match it. We can't back down from them. If they want to go, we got to go, and if they want to hit, we got to hit. We just gotta outwork them and match their physical play, because that's what a lot of teams are trying to do against us. We're a smaller team, so we just have to make sure that we're finishing all our checks, and hopefully it will make a little more room for us.
You guys have been money with a lead after 2 periods. You haven't lost a game yet this year. What's the secret to that, and how do you batten down the hatches here in the third?
Well, it just comes down to our systems. We're pretty disciplined with our systems. Going into the third period, we know what we got to do, and we got a pretty good game plan set out, and we just gotta execute our systems. And we're a team that's committed to executing our systems. So it's worked for us in the past, and hopefully it can work for us tonight.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, thanks, Heath. Time for a quick break now, but up next, a behind-the-scenes look at the Saskatoon Blades equipment and training staff. We're back in 2 minutes right here on Boston Pizza, WHL Hockey on Shaw. Welcome back to WHL Central in Vancouver. After 2 periods of play at the Credit Union Center in Saskatoon, it is the Medicine Hat Tigers leading the Blades 3-1, outshooting them 24-16 through 40 minutes. Now, with every great team, there is a great support staff that goes unnoticed. These are the guys responsible for ensuring every skate is perfectly sharpened and every muscle is properly stretched and warmed up in preparation for going into battle. We get a closer look at 2 of these men as we go behind the scenes with the Saskatoon Blades support staff.
The coaches have worked out the plays that will win games. Everything is ready in front of the bench, but what about behind the bench? The trainers are also a major part of the team. The Saskatoon Blades have 2 trainers that work with the players. Jarrett Senft is the athletic trainer.
My job is the therapy and conditioning as in exercises to get them back to game condition.
And we can't forget about the equipment manager.
My job basically is to look after the team's equipment. Ordering the equipment, dealing with the equipment reps and the companies, skate sharpening, equipment repairs, basically whatever that I can do to make it easier for the players, so they don't have to worry about playing, worry about their equipment. I take care of all of anything to do with their equipment. Basically, I'm involved in.
Both Senft and Watt have more than qualified backgrounds to assist with the Blades.
For me, I've worked in medical clinics and worked with sports teams on the side, and it was just the love of being with a team, just the aspect of bonding and the fact when they win, you win, and just seeing the accomplishments of all the hard work that you get, the results that come with it.
I knew at a young age I wasn't a very good hockey player, and so I thought, well, if I'm going to get somewhere, I better find another way. And I started out as a water boy and a stick boy, like I think a lot of guys do.
I worked at a gym facility, which also did sports conditioning, and I met Lauren in the gym, Mulliken. He was working out, and just introduced myself, and then we started talking about hockey and injuries, and that's how I ended up here.
Before taking a position here with the Blades, Jarrett worked in Regina while Graham hailed from Brandon and worked with the Wheaties. Both guys love being here in Saskatoon in a team setting.
I'm looking forward to this year and happy to be in Saskatoon and with the Blades organization.
I just love being around, the team setting is something really great, and to be able to come to work every day and just love your job is pretty amazing.
Senf and Watt get along really well and share duties between the 2.
We have a really good situation where we don't have specific boundaries, as in he looks after this and I look after this. There's a lot of crossover, which I think makes for a very strong team. And, I think it raises the level of our staff very much for the players.
In Saskatoon, I'm Jessica Bailey.
All right, let's check in on the out-of-town scoreboard. There's two other games going on tonight. One just starting in the third period. It's Regina Pats and Portland Winterhawks. The Pats leading this one 5-0. Kyle Ross already with a hat trick and an assist. Mike Reach also with a goal and 2 assists. Kamloops hosting Kelowna. That starts at 7 o'clock Pacific time, and the Blazers going for their 8th straight win of the season. Time now to take a look at the top 5 scorers in the WHL. Martin Hansel, his first year in the dub, playing for Red Deer. He's got 10 goals and 34 points. In second is Cody Berkey, tied for second. In fact, 15 goals, 33 points. Ben Maxwell with Kootenay, he's got 33 points. In fourth, Berkey's teammate Mark DeLego, he's got 30 points. And in fifth, Zach Boychuk from Lethbridge, he's got 11 goals, 19 assists, 30 points. Should mention his draft year, not even until 2008. He will be a good one. All right, that is all we have here from WHL Central in Vancouver. Let's send it back to the Credit Union Center in Saskatoon for a recap of the second period with Ray and Shannon.
The winter weather definitely came upon Saskatoon here over the last 48 hours or so, and of course that's hockey weather. Fans here at Credit Union Center hoping their team can get back into this one as they trail 3-1 after 40 minutes of play. Well, it could be worse when you take a look at these two teams' record, and I think one thing that the Blades have tried to do, Shannon Brisky, is make sure that they have momentum going through at each and every time, and that's what they're trying to generate here, I suspect.
Well, you know what? I was quite impressed with the way the Blades' young team sort of adjusted and reacted to the tempo of the game and what was happening with the Medicine Hat team. And Willie Desjardins has that team so well coached in their systems and how they manage it. And I was quite impressed with how the adjustments that the Saskatoon Blades made and how they started to break through a little bit of the trap and started, guys, let's start getting the puck in net. Let's get in that second and third player to the net, which we didn't see at all in the first period. They blocked to the outside, and we saw, a lot of the cycling stuff like that. And I thought that maybe the Blades, to some extent, carried the play for the last 10 minutes of that period. Aside from the two power plays Medicine Hat did, I thought the Blades had I think that's a period they can go back into their dressing room and build on a little bit.
The one thing that we maybe haven't seen, though, is the Blades actually control the puck in the Medicine Hat zone for a sustained amount of time, which would help a lot, which may be imperative if the Blades are going to get back in this thing.
And we talked about that today, and the Blades are a young team, and Brad Cole mentioned he's got a young, he's the 20-year-old, he's the captain, he's the leader. He's got a lot of guys that are excited about being in the league. They're maybe first-time guys in the league. They're young guys. They get excited. They're on the power play, and sometimes they're forcing things. We saw that Ryan Funk, for example, a good young player, but he tried to make the low percentage pass through the box, and give up. All of a sudden the puck is down the ice. So the power play, I think, is struggling a little bit because I think they're forcing things a little bit because they're not having the success, which makes it worse. You know what I mean?
Yep, you bet. Now let's take a look at the physical play, because that's one area where the Blades really haven't backed down tonight. They haven't won every battle, but they're certainly in a situation where they're trying to generate what they can as far as the physical play is concerned.
And we see McCray right off the drop of the puck here. He's trying to get his team going. He's going to take on their top scorer, and Derek Hellman does a good job. Seeing some big hits, again, Manet not backing down. Funk trying to take his body out. And then there's Dorsett, Mr. Dorsett putting in. And then these two young guys, do they go at her? It's a beauty till.
Yeah, it really is.
Crowley, he was fairly excited after that exchange.
So let's take a look at the statistics over the first 2 periods of play. You can see Rumpel's goal came 4:03 in. Schlemko followed that up with one. Tyler Ennis with his 9th of the season. And then Colton Gillies with his 3rd of the year from Ward and McCauley got the Blades on the board. That was in the first period. No scoring in the second period, as we talked about. And there are the shots on goal, which at one time were 2-1 for Medicine Hat. The Blades have closed that gap a little bit. So once again, it is 3-1 for the Tigers over the Blades. We will take a break and return to Credit Union Center with period 3 here on Shaw TV. Ready to go with period 3 with the Saskatoon Blades shorthanded for the first 42 seconds of this frame. And right off the hop, it's Russell in with the puck for Medicine Hat. Tries to play it around to Dorsett. And over there as well, trying to make the stop, is Chris Stevens. Trying to get it going early here.
It's a big kill for Saskatoon to start off the period here, Ray.
Russell for Schlemko. They try working inside. Stevens takes a golf at it. Blades trying to get the puck out. Sat at the line, but stayed in. Cole against Dorsett. McCray turns and fires at the length of the ice. Puck will be left for Chris Russell. Actually, it'll be left for Schlemko as Russell turns away from it, just as I said that. Schlemko for Dorsett, who dumps it down into the Saskatoon zone, or tried to. Good job by McCauley, though, to trap that puck up and get it back to the line. Now Logan going back for it for Saskatoon against Stevens. Troy Crowley turning with it. Tried to tip it by his man, Helm. Helm, though, does steer it back and then gets the repeat pass. Stepped into by Gillies, though. And Gillies takes control. McCauley tried to catch up to the puck in the Medicine Hat zone. Troy Crowley out there for another shift here for the Blades as Helm tries to step by Logan. Undershoot tries to work it in.
Troy Crowley's earned some ice time tonight, Ray, and he's very, very, physical play out there. That's just what Saskatoon needs against this highly skilled Medicine Hat team.
Now this is Helm with it. Playing it up ahead. Undershoot. Just decides to dump it down as the Tigers go for a change. Bodan Vishnak behind his net. Pass ahead too far for Ward. Cloud, Wintoniak. They tried to move it ahead, but Rumpel for Russell. Now at the Saskatoon line, Chris Cloud steps into it, gets it to center, and then dumps it down. Ryan Holfeld stops it there behind the net. Ennis tried to catch up to the puck, but the Blades managed to keep it in. Galen Patterson is down there, a Saskatoon product. Working away with Cloud. Now it's Patterson trying to get it out front. Trying to turn and get a shot away as Wintoniak, but can't track it down. Ward tries to play it in. This is Ennis for the Tigers. Didn't have anyone to go to with it. Wintoniak gets it and just sends it down into the Medicine Hat end. Good pace. We've already played 2 minutes and 30 seconds here already. Dorsett.
Ray, this is easy for me. You just keep going.
Tegan's on to the line, and eventually the Tigers send it back in. Jordan Benfeld was the one that dumped that in. Zahn tries to catch up with it. Dorsett with a shot, a low one, and that one goes over the glass. Another play.
And Colton Gillies is known for his physical play, Ray, and coming out the first period, I know we'll talk about that. And we're going to see a big hit on Derek Helm, their top scorer. Great job by Colton Gillies. Coming out and setting the tone in the third period, and hopefully it ends up in a couple goals for the Saskatoon Blades.
Only had 12 points in 63 games last year, but those 63 games were valuable experience for Colton Gillies because he's one of the go-to guys this year for this young Blades team. There's a shot from Swiston. That one's kicked wide by Neufeld. Blades now try to get it out, but it is kept into the zone there. Nice play by Benfeld to keep it in. Trying to catch up with that puck on the far side is Fulton Grant, who we haven't seen much of.
That might be his first shift. I haven't seen him all night, Ray.
Funk with a pass ahead. Tried to get it to Klotz, but his stick broke.
We'll watch the Medicine Hat try and lay on the trap here now, the 3-1 in the third period. I don't believe they've lost a game when leading going into the third period. Is that not correct, Ray?
Undefeated.
Undefeated, so Blades got some work to do here.
Undershoot turns. That one steered wide. Logan going after it. Helm in there digging. Centering pass for Undershoot. Backhand shot that manages to stay out. That one goes over the glass and out of play. And there's a look at Grant Undershoot.
Another one on the, on the balanced attack for the Medicine Hat Tigers.
Sorry, Kevin Undershoot, a Medicine Hat product. And there's a look at these chances here.
Last couple chances here again. Neufeld doing a good job of, the pucks are coming, and the Medicine Hat, they're keeping the puck away from, the goaltenders, controlling the rebounds, at least not letting them sit around in front of the net, and, keeping them, take them to the corner, take them somewhere else, get them out of the front of the net. And the Blades are doing a lot better job the last second or in the second period and into the third period here on eliminating that second chance rate, which is what, the two goals that were scored in the first period were those second chances for the puck sitting around, and you got to get that out of there.
Before that replay, we were talking about Kevin Undershoot. He is +8, leads the team in the plus-minus. Kevin Undershoot +8 for the Tigers. Unbelievable. Schlemko plays it down low. Ennis tries to turn away from his man. Bosch is parked in front. This is Rumpel back for Russell, who lets a shot go. Blades shorthanded. They score! Turning and putting it into the net. Jacob Rumpel with his second of the night, and that makes it 4-1. They make you pay on the power play, don't they?
And simply just a case of outnumbered there. Brad Cole, I thought, did a pretty good job of trying to block the shot, and then he just lost it, and it just squirted free. You see the shot come from the point. Cole tries to block it, squirts out. He's worried about Bosch. Boom. Great shot, too. 25. Jeez, he roofed it. See it again here. Just opportunistic. Bang. Under the bar and in. So, again, good teams make the most of their opportunities, and we see that with, experienced guys and good hockey teams that are, confident on the power play and make the Blades pay again.
That's Rumpel's 8th goal of the year now from Slovakia.
He's having a pretty good night.
Yeah, he really is. So this is Vishnak turning with it now.
We'll see the trap in full effect here now,
Ray.
Ray.
A mix-up here by the Blades. Dorsett trying to work his way in for the Tigers as the Blades struggle. Stevens tries to get a shot through. That one is blocked. And now the puck is simply picked up by Patterson as he tries to move it down the ice. Stepped into by Glass.
Caught with the head down a little bit there, Ray.
Underwood plays it out. The Tigers get it out and back down into the Saskatoon zone. And there's an icing call. 14:51 now to go.
Well, again, the physical play being matched by Medicine Hat. You saw Glass put a big hit on number 32, Patterson, and staying out on the ice, hopefully to get a little redemption, hopefully. So
there it is there, some of the physical play we talked about. Blades trying to dish it out as good as they can. Face off to the left of the Blades net. That squirted behind Neufeld. And now, Helm tries to hold it in. This is Undershoot with a shot. That one wide of the net. Another shot from the side that trickles through, and the Blades will smother that. We'll have a quick get-together, but nothing serious. Let's join Heath Mulligan.
Oh, here we go, Ray. Here we go. They're going to go.
Former Blade goaltender Tim Shovelday among the spectators here tonight, and you're here just as an interested observer, I guess, but you're still involved in hockey in the Western League, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I work as a goalie consultant with the Moose Jaw Warriors, so I try to go down there 2-3 times every 2 weeks, and I also do some goalie clinics in Saskatchewan hockey.
We were talking a little bit about this building, and I asked you if you ever played here, and turns out you were one of the people who broke the ice here.
Yeah, we played our last 13 games. We moved halfway through the season, and if people remember the old barn in Saskatoon, the ice was a little smaller. So when we came here, we had a little time to adjust to the bigger ice surface during the neutral zone, and that was when they had Sakic and Fleury run the team, so we gave up a few breakaways, so I got to test my one-on-one skills.
How do you assess the Blades this year? I know you haven't had a chance to see them play a whole lot, but were you ever in a situation as a junior player on a young team that was rebuilding like this? And if so, what kind of challenges did you face?
Well, I think the biggest thing with a young team is, you're obviously you're not going to win probably as much as you'd like, but you want to get the work ethic in there, and you want to get the right way to play the game, and everyone pulling on the same page. And probably the biggest thing is get a culture. You look at teams like Vancouver, or you look at Everett, they have that culture where, every year this is how we're going to play, this is what expects to win. And if you get the players and then they mature into, top quality hockey players, you get the culture, that's what brings championships on.
Thanks for taking some time with us, and I guess we'll throw it back upstairs and we can talk more about Zoolander now.
Oh, that's a great movie, one of my favorites.
Oh, man. That's scary with Heath and Tim Shovelday down there. Wouldn't you know it, there's a scrap on the ice, and we're talking to a goalie. Anyway, Matt Lowry and Tegan Zahn with the scrap there as they chat this over. There's a look at how this started.
And here we go. The boys, I think Tegan Zahn frustrated, kept talking to Lowry, let's go. And finally, at the end of the fight, Lowry's, maybe got the best of it, so maybe Tegan Zahn's maybe wishing he didn't pick that fight.
Pick your spots sometimes. Yeah, Tim Shovelday, former Detroit Red Wing and Winnipeg Jet as well in his career. Came back to Saskatchewan after his playing days were done, and liked it here to the point where he really settled in, wanted to join the coaching ranks. There's Colton Grant here for the Medicine Hat Tigers, and there's a kid from Standard, Alberta, who had a goal and an assist against Moose Jaw the other night.
And you can see they're starting to work in some of their players, and good coaching. Starting to give the big guys a little bit of rest. The 4-1 lead here, and get some of their guys maybe got some more legs from and play them on the road.
And I asked Willie Desjardins about that, and he said, yeah, no, there's not really many opportunities to do that. Galen Patterson from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. There's another kid, an up-and-comer. Big, tall kid, big, tall, lanky kid that has a great reach on him up front.
and still looking for his first goal here. And he's putting hard effort in tonight, and then he's getting rewarded with a little bit more ice time, and hopefully he can find the back of the net and get number 1 there, Ray.
Blades now down by a field goal with 14 minutes to go. Perhaps needed a little more of a spark a little earlier in this period, but that's tough to do against a Medicine Hat team, which is very, very good. Brendan Bosch moves it ahead, and now Rumpel tries to move it up, and Patterson hangs on to it. Chris Russell trying to work against his man as the Blades try to turn up the heat as much as they can here in the offensive zone, but it squirts out to center where Vishnak comes back for it. Vishnak plays it back into the corner. Logan goes down, and that was accidental. Rumpel fell into the goaltender Neufeld, but he lost an edge. That was pretty clear to see.
Yeah, that's a good non-call, Ray. You know, that's a good non-call. He actually did. The fans, of course, don't like it. Right?
No.
Of course not. But
no,
we're in the Saskatoon building, so of course they're not going to like that very much.
Trevor Glass with the puck. Playing it ahead now as the Tigers move it up. Dorsett gets a stick on it, and it goes down into the Saskatoon end. Neufeld leaves it there for Cole. Boy, they're heavy on the forecheck here again.
And, you know, we've seen the last 5 minutes, it's almost like the wind got taken out of the sails a little bit in that 4th goal, Ray.
There's a shot from Benfeld. It goes wide. Scott Wasden having a good shift here. Stevens with a shot, and Neufeld eventually covers up on that as the bodies gather in front with 12:50 now to go in the 3rd. And let's take a look at that Medicine Hat player losing the edge. That's what drew the attention of the fans.
They just sort of fall. It loses an edge here a little bit. Rumpel comes out of Neufeld, and no harm, no foul, so to speak, eh, Ray?
Yeah. Well, after flattening the goaltender, Rumpel had a chuckle about that all the way back to the bench. It may not have been had he been called on it like the fans wanted, but McRae, that's the blooper tape. You show that at the Christmas party, right?
There you
go. Logan dumps that back down into the Medicine Hat zone where Russell has it. Russell starts away. They'll be happy with this pace the rest of the way.
I was just going to say, Russell will be happy to sit behind the net all night if they'll let him.
That.
Blades need to get something going here in a hurry, Ray.
Yeah, maybe two on the forecheck here to see if they can force a turnover, if nothing else. Russell for Schlemko, who plays it off the boards and ahead. McRae now back for Ryan Manet. Manet dances, pass across, tried to move it in, but that's broken up by the Tigers goaltender Holfeld, and now it's Russell. With undershoot going to the net, Russell tries to get a shot. That one is blocked, and Vishnak goes down. I think he may have took that one in the ankle.
That hurt.
You bet. He's way down, slow to get up, and finally it's whistled down as Vishnak is going to need some attention from this training staff here. Took it right square, right in the leg. You can tell just the way he went down and is favoring the leg after that shot.
Looked like a it looked like a harmless enough shot. It wasn't a slap shot. You see Russell coming down the side. He doesn't see, a couple of guys are going for a change, so he simply wants to put it on net and right on the inside of the ankle bone. So that hurt right away.
Yeah, those are tough to... Yeah.
They make the skates lighter and lighter, and there's less and less to them, you know. And, you know, sometimes those big leather things you used to wear, Ray, with the, you know, an inch thick, those are nice to have on there right now for Vishnak. Looks like we're going to have a penalty here.
Yeah, we are. Skrudland was hauled down. I think Ennis is going to be on his way to the box here for Medicine Hat, so we'll see what the Blades can do. Actually, the Blades gate is opening, so perhaps there's something there that I didn't see. I think that Skrudland is the one going off, so Medicine Hat will go on the power play.
Skrudland got tied up with his man, and this is our classic sort of neutral zone play where he's just obstructing the Medicine Hat guy. You just can't do that. The new rules, Ray, and anything happens, and that sure isn't what Lauren was hoping for Skrudland to go out there and maybe make some noise and create some something in the forecheck, and that didn't work out very well. And he put these guys back in the power play.
Dorsett with the puck. Top of the circle, moving it back. Schlemko lets a shot go. That one high over the glass. Cole gloves it. He's going to see if he can get it out around the boards.
Good job by Cole.
Yeah, Schlemko gets it down into the Medicine Hat end.
You're 6'4" and you reach up for a puck. There's not many guys are going to get it before you really.
That's right. Derek Dorsett dumps it down. Ward will see if he can outrace his man. Get to it. Stevens watched by Logan, but Stevens pulls away. Trying to move it back to his point man, but eventually Gillies gets a stick on it and sends it the length of the ice. All Medicine Hat here. The Blades really in 9 minutes of hockey haven't pressured much. Medicine Hat, to their credit, have been fantastic here and just making sure nothing happens in front of their goaltender.
Just sort of play their systems, their boring systems that just seem to win hockey games. And, you know, the Blades, with that fourth goal, it sort of seemed like the wind sort of came out of their sails and they're not moving their feet as much as they were. And you know, as a young team, it can be a little bit dejecting here. They maybe uphill road against, you know, be down 4-1 the Medicine Hat Tigers. But you got to keep competing throughout. And I know Lauren will be preaching that to them on the bench for sure.
Logan tried to golf that off the back glass, and it goes out of play with 10-11 to go.
And there's
look at Blades head coach Lauren Mulliken, and you know, I often wonder about the change in coaching NHLers versus junior guys, because the way you deal with them is so much different. It really would have to be. You're going from millionaires to teenagers, literally.
Yeah, and the way that the game has changed so much too, Ray. You know, 10 years ago when I was coming through, you know, you had the old school coach, and Lauren went through that. Now you got to sort of, people aren't, you don't coach like that anymore. You can't be screaming and yelling and for the most, well, I'm sure they're screaming and yelling, but you know, some of the old school tactics that used to work, you know, coaching has changed a ton for, you know, coaching at the junior level for sure.
And as far as this Blades team is concerned, he appears to be very patient. 7-11, 0-1, but as long as he gets an effort, then he seems pretty content. Chris Cloud, one of the energy makers on this team here as well. And we talked about his story, but there's one of the guys that he just likes energy. Just try to give you some momentum and energy, and we'll see what we can do from there. And really, it is long-term thinking from the Blades' perspective, whereas a team like Medicine Hat, I mean, it literally is now for them.
That's what I was going to say, right? You know, Lauren's got a bigger plan here, and it's not going to end this year, whereas Willie's looking at a team to really compete for the Memorial Cup this year.
Logan around the boards, tries to get it out. Glass going back for it. He'll turn, steered up. Look at that head of speed by Trevor Glass. All the way to the line. Quick little pass in as he tries to get the puck to Helm, who lets a shot go. That one goes up and behind the net. Cloud for Cole. Brad Cole around the glass. Tried to get it all the way to the line, but it didn't make it. Now it's Helm back there again with undershoot circling in front. Helm puts it on. There's a shot right there by Bretton Cameron, and that one is wide of the net.
The youngster getting a chance to play on the power play, Ray. It's nice to see. And physical.
Maybe earned a few notches in the coach's belt with that scrap, maybe.
Yeah. Well, coach like to see the young guys coming out and compete. There's no doubt about it.
Turning Manet with a shot. That one gloved. Rebound. That one just stays out as Helm was there to make sure that puck didn't go in with Holfeld down and out. Now it's Stevens the other way.
I think that was poor Patterson looking for number one, Ray, and Holfeld denied him.
Holfeld did a good job there.
Absolutely. He's played well tonight when he's had to.
He really has. This is Benfeld moving it back for Schlemko with the pass ahead. Wasden keeping an eye on his man, but the pass does get on ahead as McCangus tries to get something going. Schlemko steers it out to center. At the line, Walker Wintoniak gets tied up. Dorsett is over there. Tigers eventually come away with it as Stevens drops it back for Schlemko. Ahead for Stevens, and Stevens gets to the line. That shot low and wide. Dorsett clears it to the near boards now. Stevens being watched closely. Dorsett tried to dangle by Cole. Antoniak tries to get the puck out, and now this is Skrudland. Scott Skrudland will just dump the puck in with no one to go to. Less than 8 minutes to go here in a 4-1 Tiger game. Glass with a shot. That one off the post.
Just a laser on the bar.
The other way, it's Chris Cloud being held up at the line, also trying to hustle in and make something happen here for the Blades. It's Troy Crowley who's out on the ice again. Crowley trying to work his way out front. Tyler Ennis picks it up now for the Tigers. Ennis chips it into the corner. And this is Rumpel on the chase with it. Crowley tries to get it out, but the Tigers manage to hold it in as Helm at the line manages to get it to a stick. Nice pass across. Oh, what an opportunity there for Rumpel, but he couldn't pull it, just out of his reach. Benfeld couldn't keep the puck in.
Ray, this is getting pretty easy for the color guy here. We've got about a 4-minute here.
Supposed to take a break. 3 minutes to go. Logan plays it up for Cloud. And that goes over the glass and out of play. All right, the aforementioned break comes our way now. 4-1 Tigers in the third.
You know, when you talk about the Medicine Hat Tigers defense and how talented they are, you always talk about Schlemko and Russell, but Trevor Glass just lays one. He did get a piece of it. Neufeld did get a piece of it off the corner of the bar. So a nice shot. Neufeld got a piece of it, or it would have been the back of the net.
Well, and I wondered what happened there because I didn't hear the clank, and it was a laser, as you said. So I wondered if the goaltender got his trapper out on that or not. This is Stevens turning with it now for the Tigers. Trying to make something happen here, but the Blades managed to get the puck down the length of the ice. Jordan Benfeld will go back for it behind his own net for Medicine Hat. Tried to play it up for Dorsett, too far for him, and that goes down the ice, and icing is the call.
Yeah, the Medicine Hat Tigers on the back end have been, number 29 is another example, Benfeld, and I think his nickname is Bender, and he's a real physical back end player there, and Russell talked about the break. They've got 3 or 4 guys that move the puck very, very well, and they've got Big Baldwin and Benfeld that just make the people pay in the back end. So what a dynamic back end the Medicine Hat Tigers have, in their lineup.
Jordan Benfeld from Leduc, Alberta. This is Tyler Swiston over the line with a long shot that's gloved. Logan hangs on, or Logan picks it up after Neufeld sets it down. Neufeld was the one that hung on. This is Swiston. Tried to play it ahead. Grant couldn't catch up with it, and now Skrudlin has it. Bohdan Vishnak. Joe Logan. When Toniak gets a stick on it, it goes down the ice. Glass goes back behind his net for it, and Schlemko starts away. Pass up ahead as the Tigers get it to the line and just dump it in. Colton Grant trying to chase that puck down with Neufeld out of the net. Ward plays it back on the other side for Ryan Funk. Funk trying to get around the referee, and they'll move it back to Ward. Make those passes all day, but you're not going to generate many chances.
Yeah.
Blades trying to decide which end to come out on.
Yeah, Medicine Hat with 3 guys back, and we'll see that for the rest of the game for sure.
Matt Lowry gets the puck up to Undershoot with a good burst of speed, tries to work his way free, but it comes out. Russell plays it on the far side. Mark Isherwood moves it up ahead.
The Blades almost got caught in a bad change there, Ray.
And this is Garrett Klotz moving it in front, trying to make something happen here.
Ooh.
Pass across, nobody there.
Nobody home. That's again just moving the puck a little bit too quickly. Take that extra second, get your head up, and make a pass. When you're playing with, not a lot of offensive confidence right now. Like the Blades are having a tough time scoring. That's the kind you try and force. You try and move a little bit too quick, and that's the example there, Chris Cloud.
Ennis gets away from Cole, tries the centering pass. That doesn't work out. Now Cole tries to get it ahead as far as he can, gets it down into the Medicine Hat zone.
It's a frustrated Brad Cole.
Well, it's a frustrated Blades hockey team who really had a chance to make something happen early in the third, at least for some momentum. Put yourself in a position to,
I agree. I don't
close the deficit, and it just didn't happen here. And give the Tigers credit though.
Yeah, they're real tough. They stick with the game plan.
Yeah.
For 60 minutes, and you're gonna see it for the first minute all the way to the 60th minute. It's tough to play.
The way, if you wanted to patent how you play a road game, watch the Tigers. Logan in his own end now. Off the glass and out. Bakangas couldn't catch up with it, and Stevens has it. I can try to gulp it in, but they only get it to the line where the Blades take control of it, and Vishnak will take it back behind his net, but Derek Dorsett watching him. Vishnak. Patterson takes a bump from Dorsett. This play is whistled down, and
they do such a good job. You just watch them on the trap. They challenge the guy coming up the ice. They have a guy waiting there for him, and if he tries to go anywhere, it's just boom. They have nowhere to go. You see right here, guy comes across from the middle. Dorsett takes away time and space, nowhere to go unless you make a real crisp pass or something like that. You're in trouble and just going back the other way. And Medicine Hat have been playing that trap just to a T.
Keep an eye on Dorsett because he had a couple words for the Blades bench here. If he gets another shift, he might have a thing or two more to say. 3 to go now. 3 minutes to go. 4-1 Tigers.
Yeah, you look at, I think it's because Medicine Hat's had the 3 fights they've had have been sort of a couple of their skilled guys and one of their young guys. So Dorsett might have a little something to say about that, if I know him.
Mark Isherwood. Patterson. Playing it ahead. This is Schlemko. Trying to move it up, but it's dumped right back in by Ward. Bouncing puck. Also, let to keep an eye on that one. As it's steering to the corner. Here's Chris Cloud trying to make something happen. Oh, tried it for Monet. Tegan's on with a shot. That one is blocked in front. Good job there by Breton Cameron to make sure that got no further. Blades trying to get it going now, but there's only 2:19 to go in the period. And the puck is simply lifted down the ice. Cole turns with it. One man in, Helm in there, and the rest back in the neutral zone for Medicine Hat.
4 men back, and it's tough to come out.
It really is.
They're trying to force it. They don't really have it's tough. The trap is tough to beat at times, and if you don't have the receiver trying to send Scrudler, I guess that's Kloss 19 deep, but they force, and again, Lowry right back onto the zone, and they just have nowhere to go.
Monet working hard. Joe Logan goes backboard, but play is whistled down. Well, one of the big things for junior hockey players is the draft, of course, and one of the guys that we'll be watching closely is Justin McCrae.
Oh, I guess it's pretty exciting, but I try not to focus on that. I try to focus on my game, just make sure I come out every game playing the same way. Team first. I mean, I want more than anything just to win, make the playoffs, and make a long run in the playoffs, and then all the rest is just a bonus, I guess.
So another man advantage here for Medicine Hat as Ryan Monet is off to the box. Medicine Hat 2 for 6 on the power play with 11 shots on the man advantage tonight. And with this lineup, you give up 11 shots in the power play, you may find your opportunity. The Tigers have done that twice here tonight. Rumpel.
Rumpel's had a strong night looking for number 3, right?
He really has. And Usherwood couldn't quite keep that in, so it goes in on the offside, and there's a look at one of the Saskatoon Blades that have
Dustin
been
Cameron,
hoping to make a difference here.
Young kid had played a little bit with the Blades last year, got sent back to AAA midget, came into camp with burning desire to make the team, and worked hard all summer, and has played hard. He's kind of a bump and grinder. He's just a young guy, 17 years old, and hoping to make a difference, absolutely.
Played on the TELUS Cup winning contacts in 04-05. Less than a minute to go now, and the fans are starting to file out of Credit Union Center. The Medicine Hat Tigers appear ready to pick up their 19th win of the season.
Good hustle by Patterson to break up Dorsett's rush there.
Dumped in. Cole. Back in the net, Stevens tries to work out. This is Dorsett out front. That opportunity didn't miss by much. And eventually the Blades get the puck the length of the ice.
Here goes Glass up the ice. He's had a strong night. Real strong night tonight, Ray, is Trevor Glass. I thought he's been one of the best on the back end of a real talented crew. And when your third or fourth guy is your best guy, you're having a good night, And it was a tough third period for the Blades, Ray.
It really was, as they lose at home 4-1 to the Medicine Hat Tigers. But what can you say about this Tigers team? 19-5 on the year. They score an average of 4 goals per game like they did tonight, 3.95 coming in. And their leading scorer, I think, is still only 8th or 14th in the league, which tells you how balanced they are, and they proved it tonight.
Just a fantastic balanced attack. I thought the Blades were in it for the second period. They're maybe gathering a little bit of momentum. Came out in the third with a couple big hits, and they took that penalty, and the puck went to the back of the net. And all of a sudden, it seemed like the wind came out of their sails and didn't really get that intensity back to match Medicine Hat. And Medicine Hat put it into their crew's system control, and it was game over.
Ryan Holfeld with 17 saves tonight as the Tigers beat the Blades by a count of 4-1 at Credit Union Center. Tigers a 6-game win streak thanks to a 4-1 win over the Saskatoon Blades here at Credit Union Center tonight. You talk about how steady this team is, and you mentioned Trevor Glass. There's a guy that's not going to be on the highlight reel tonight, but you just see how steady this team basically is top through bottom.
You know, it's kind of 1 through 19 every night, and I think Willie Desjardins has that programmed into his team and into his system. It doesn't matter, like he said, they roll 3 lines. Whoever's out there, do the job. And, you know, Chris Russell, who I talked about to be a real dominant force out there, had kind of a quiet night. But the guys around the supporting cast were just fantastic. He wasn't bad, but again, it was just such a balanced attack. That's when you watch the Medicine Hat and you're kind of like, who was the bet? Like, who? So, you know what I mean? It was just all of a sudden it's 4-1 and the game's over.
They can come at you in a lot of ways. Jacob Rumpel scored 2 tonight. He's with Heath Mulligan.
Tonight's first star from the Medicine Hat Tigers is Jacob Rumpel, and a great team effort tonight. There's really not any one player on your team, it would seem, that does it all by themselves. You guys are a very well-rounded team.
Yeah.
Go ahead. We're gonna try and break through the translation of English into Slovakian here a little bit. But what I'm trying to say is that this team doesn't depend on just one player. It's a group effort, really. And how is that affecting the way that you guys are playing here on the road? Because you've been away from home for a long time, and yet you just keep on doing it.
We have a great defense system, and it's that is all.
This is probably a lot tougher for you than it is for us here. How long for you now playing in Medicine Hat?
Maybe 5 months, or first season.
And where did you play before this, and what is the biggest thing that's different about playing here?
It's different. It's skating, and it's go to the net, and so I don't know.
Right now, as you and I speak, we are watching your goal on television. Can you tell us a little bit about how you scored that goal tonight?
It was tough, but
you know something? This is probably the most miserable moment of your WHL hockey career. I will say this: congratulations on being selected the first star tonight. Okay. Tomorrow night you play up in Prince Albert. We wish you the best of luck there, and thank you very much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Jacob Rumpel, our first star from Slovakia to Canada. For some of these young guys, it's a big, long learning curve, so we thank him for dropping by. And let's go back up to Ray and Shannon.
It's an easy game. You don't have to talk about it. Just put the puck in the net. Jacob Rumpel with 2 tonight did an outstanding job.
Well, he speaks the hockey language quite well, that's for sure. And, you know, he was a guy that was sniffing around the net all night and very opportunistic. And that's the thing about good teams we mentioned in the third period, Ray. Medicine Hat gets in the power play. They see an opportunity, and it's in the back of the net, just like those first couple of goals. A puck laying around, miscommunication by the defenseman on the blade side, and it's in the back of the net. And those are things that, you know, a veteran team seem to be able to do, where you look at the Blades a little bit, obviously a younger team, a rookie team in a lot of ways. They're squeezing the stick a little bit too tight, I think, and they're feeling a little bit of the pressure, and maybe we're a little bit overwhelmed in this matchup.
Blades still have 3 of 4 at home here yet, so something to build on for them. The goal is simply for them to make the playoffs, and it's as easy as that for them.
And you know what, Ray? I didn't think the Blades had a horrible night. I think they hung in there pretty good. They competed, and Lauren's going to be happy with some of his energy guys that took on a little bit of different role, doing a little fighting and stuff like that, trying to get their team going. And like they've said in the past, they've got a great dressing room. They're building from game to game. And they're learning from game to game. So if I'm the Blades tonight, I'm not going to be, let's look at our next home game and try and move on.
For Jacob Rumpel, Dan, silence speaks volumes. 2 goals tonight here in a 4-1 Tiger win. Let's go to Vancouver.
All right, thanks, guys. Great job as usual. And Jacob Rumpel, maybe silent but deadly on the ice. He was our first star with 2 goals tonight. Brendan Bosch, the second star. He had 3 assists. And the third star, Chris Russell, talked about him off the top of the show. Will be a big impact player on the World Junior team, no doubt. He also chipped in with 2 assists. So the Medicine Hat Tigers dominating the 3 stars on this night. All right, we'll be back with more after a quick timeout, including a look at the out-of-town scoreboard right here on Boston Pizza, WHL Hockey on Shaw. Back WHL Central, 2 other games tonight. One is a final. Regina Pats blanking the Portland Winterhawks 7-0 at home. Kyle Ross with the hat trick. Also chipped in with an assist. Lindsay Rowett making 16 saves for his second shutout of the season. Also, other game going on tonight is in the first period. Kelowna Kamloops tied at 1. Reed Jorgensen scoring for Kamloops. Chris Ray countering for the Rockets. Both goals coming on the power play. And our game tonight, it was the Medicine Hat Tigers defeating the Saskatoon Blades 4-1. Jacob Rumpel with 2 goals. David Schlemko with 1. And Tyler Ennis with another. Brendan Bosch at 3 assists for the Tigers. Colton Gillies scoring for the Blades. Should mention 9 players on the Tigers have 7 goals or more this season. That is what we call a balanced offensive attack. All right, our next game is tomorrow night. It is a BC Division battle as the Kelowna Rockets host the Prince George Cougars. Start time is 7 p.m. Pacific at Prospero Place in Kelowna. But as for tonight, it was the Medicine Hat Tigers showing their dominance, defeating the Saskatoon Blades 4-1, improving to 13-3 on the road. It was their 19th win of the season. 6 straight. Jacob Rumpel with the pair, David Schlemko with 1, Tyler Ennis with another. For Ray Morrison, Shannon Brisky, Keith Mulligan, Scott Rintoul, and our entire crews here in Vancouver and in Saskatoon, I'm Dan Elliott. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow night.